fixing cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds with the potential for just a few showers across the south. High temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. We'll see showers and some thunderstorms tonight. Overnight lows in the low 40s north, right around the mid 50s south, and then another chance of showers and storms across the south Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm hairy everywhere else except my face.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that's the perspective. Ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Good morning and welcome into halftime. It's been a few days since I've done this before, so we'll figure out if I can remember how to do it. Matt Jones in studio with Christian Johnston staring right there at him, and I'm Phil Elson in a hotel room in North Carolina. And you got halftime today on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app. Good morning, guys. Thanks for taking over the show yesterday. Woo! Yeah. Wasn't able to listen to it. I thought we were going to leave at 10 in the morning. It turned out we didn't leave until 3. But I was unable to go grab the equipment box out of the plane and set things up because, you know, once you hand your luggage over to, even if it's a charter flight, the attendants, you can't get it back until you get off the plane. And we never made it on the plane. But we did make it to our destination. Show must have gone well yesterday. How you guys doing today?
They said if we wanted to come back and work today, the door was open. So I figured that it's about as you could do, man. Life's good. We had a fun time. Talked a little, Heisman Trophy with Travis Hunter. Had Connor O'Gara was great. Mike Irwin as well. Kind of got into a little bit of the revenue sharing. You saw those two coaches, Gundy and Norvell. Is that going to be the new formula? I know both teams were picked to win their conference, and both teams didn't win a single conference game. Does that have something to do with it? I have to believe that if Florida State would have won the ACC last year, he wouldn't be doing that the same with Gundy.
Right. Yeah. I wonder how many coaches, once they started to hear the word revenue share get thrown around, that the revenue they might have been talking about was their own paycheck in some cases. That was not one that I thought I saw coming. Bill Belichick wasn't taking money off of his salary to spend on anybody coming into the Patriots. We'll see if North Carolina asks him to do that. If at some point the Tar Heels are picked to finish first in the ACC and end up with a winless season. Would he make it through that? I would imagine that he doesn't stay. One year like that, you know what? Off to the sunset.
We got the Belichick stuff. We got on with Connor as well, and I think he's probably similar to your point of view. Is just kind of doesn't understand it, and it's just so weird. It's like the Texas A&M coach is like, I left my family for this job, and I'm not going anywhere else. And the next day he goes to Texas, and UNC comes out. We got to get younger. So we're going to get 8 months younger. It's like, okay, what are you supposed to believe when people say things?
Hey, did anybody get angry yesterday when it came to the debate between Ashton Jeanty and Travis Hunter? Because I can't stand that. I mean, honestly, if you voted one way or the other, I don't think you made an improper vote. Either one of those two guys, to me, deserved it. I understand you got to pick one, but I didn't understand the idea. Because to me, there wasn't a clear-cut front runner. I think it could have gone either way. So vote for somebody in third, vote for Gabriel or Ward maybe as the Heisman Trophy winner. Now I got a little bit of an issue. I didn't have a problem at all with Travis Hunter winning that award whatsoever, because he's doing something that I can't remember seeing anybody do before.
Well, the thing about
it also wasn't just that he was doing it. It's that he was really, really good at both of them.
Absolutely. And the thing I was going to say, Ron Dane, when he did his at Wisconsin, it was at least a Big Ten schedule. When I look at Jeanty and I look at the teams he played, I think, how many defensive guys are going to play on Sundays? How many NFL talented guys did he play against this year? I don't think I bet you there's not 10 guys that played in his conference on defense that are going to be playing on Sundays. So the talent level is a drop off. I know it's a Power 5 or even Colorado, a little bit of a drop off in the talent he plays. But I don't know. I think the SEC just beat each other up so bad that it was tough to pick anybody out of the SEC.
Well, to me also, usually it's a quarterback, and there wasn't anybody that had that kind of season where it's just a runaway sort of a winner. And I don't think there was anything wrong with voting either a player that was going two-way and doing incredible things on both sides, or going with a running back that rushed for over 2,000 yards, including I think the one game that might have gotten him some votes in terms of Jeanty is what he did against Oregon. If you run for, I don't remember what the numbers were.
It was over 170, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you have that kind of game against the number one team in the country. People will take notice, and I think without that game, probably doesn't get the vote. Same stats, not that sort of a performance against Oregon, probably doesn't get the number of votes that he gets. But then the other aspect, too, is that you get to follow these guys for the rest of their career going into the NFL, because they're both going to be first-round picks. It's like, Peyton Manning or Charles Woodson, when it came down to them with
both Hall of Famers.
Both end up in Canton. Exactly right. I'm trying to think of like a couple of other, maybe one other instance of this in which it didn't necessarily work out. But, in this case, but both going to be first round, both going to be given their opportunity, and it's not like
I think Ryan
Leaf
give
the award back based on what happened in the NFL.
Ryan Leaf was a part of that Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson thing, so if you want to say that. But we also got on to there's going to be a road team win out of these first four games. I got Tennessee as my upset pick of this first four. I think, Christian, did you have SMU? But I know Connor had Ohio State going through. So it's like who do you think could be that road team, that dog that wins first round?
None of the bettors apparently thinks. You saw that the closest betting line is 7.5 points for any of these four playoff games. So I mean, that's
who do you think's the biggest lock then? That maybe I should ask it that way.
Yeah.
Who do you think there's 100% chance? Like in my mind, I go Notre Dame. I'm like, there's 0% chance Indiana beats Notre Dame. But then that's why you got to play the game.
That's exactly right. That's the thing I'm thinking. And I'm just thinking about, Indiana, barely beats Michigan, which was the best team they played in the regular season, or at least the best team they beat in the regular season. They got rolled over by Ohio State, and then Michigan goes over and rolls over Ohio State. And I don't know what to think about it then. But if I were to pick one of these four teams, man, Penn State's got some warts. Just because we haven't seen them win a big game, I think they could get away from SMU. I really do. Texas against Clemson, I don't trust Quinn Ewers necessarily. I don't trust him all that much. Ohio State, I think Tennessee can go toe-to-toe with Ohio State and keep it close to where they have the chance to win. Indiana, Notre Dame, I mean, I don't know enough about Indiana outside of the idea that there are a lot of James Madison's players from last year that have grown into good Big Ten players. I just can't imagine going into South Bend and pulling off a victory there. All 4 home teams should win these games. But, man, I mean, if I were to look just at the betting line, 10.5 points for Texas, you know how I think about Ewers. Couple of ill-timed interceptions on the wrong spot of the field, and Clemson gets good field position. They could pull an upset off in Austin. I don't think it'll happen, but it could.
I don't trust Clemson in the fourth quarter. That's the thing. I don't necessarily, Texas has the number 1 defensive stop rate. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. They're going to have some skill guys on the outside, but that front 7 at Clemson can play with anybody. I got Tennessee over Ohio State. I got Penn State and Notre Dame. I mean, that's who I got winning the first round matchups.
You got a lot of football going on too now, Matt. You
get 40 games in 17 days in the Premier League. Let's go.
Well, it might be pretty close to that as far as football is concerned. Maybe even more so.
We've messed up,
though. You add in the NFL, you add in bowl games, college football playoff games.
We've messed up, Phil. We can't add bowl games. Bowl games don't matter. We're going to do a bracket challenge. Me, you, 45, and
just the playoff.
But the bowl games now, they're not anything what we thought they were. They're almost unwatchable. They're
exhibitions.
It's a jamboree. That's right.
Well, and so much of it is about, well, what do these programs feel they got going in for them when they play this? Like Mizzou and Ohio State last year, was that the Cotton Bowl? That was a huge game for Mizzou, and they played as such. It was not such a big game for Ohio State. The opt-out sort of said that, and they played the same way. So it's how much skin you got in the game. Is your coach still going to be the coach? Like, look at the game today. Get the Frisco Bowl today in Frisco, Texas. I guess that's where the MLS team plays, Toyota Stadium. West Virginia and Memphis. All right, West Virginia is on an interim coach. They get rid of Neil Brown. They're bringing in Rich Rod. They have the offensive coordinator, Chad Scott, who, with Rich Rod being an offensive coach, Scott's not going to be around next year at WVU. So this will be the last time he wears that pullover or whatever it is he wears during the games. Memphis is a 6-point favorite. I feel like they got a lot more on the line here as a group of 5 team. They've got their that running back that you like, Mario Anderson. He's
quarterback
playing in the
at
game.
Memphis.
Well, they got a great running back too.
Yeah. They Tulane had the guy Malachi Hughes that was an absolute stud in that division. But their quarterback he's potentially a Sunday guy. Watch him play. Look at his numbers. Look how tall he is. Look at his body. Like, that's the type of, he's like Anthony Black was in basketball. You're like, yeah, he has all that. Let's just see if he has the tools. But the dude has some talent. When Memphis beat Florida State, I thought it was something, but then Florida State got beat by everybody, so maybe it wasn't that big of a deal.
But I also agree with you in terms of, how do you view these bowl games? They're still going to be televised, so it's still what are these? Are they exhibition games as a part of the season? All it is content for ESPN to put live sports on in a time where a lot of people are sitting around at home with other people and are sick and tired of talking to them and know that they can share a football game together.
It's like a friendly in soccer. When Germany will come over and play USA, and they'll probably play like their C team, and then we'll play our B team with a couple other players. You kind of make, but you're keeping score, and you're not going to blitz as much. You're going to play more base. You're not trying to get anybody hurt. It's almost that's how I think these bowl games are looked at. Like, there's probably going to be a little wink, handshake, like, hey, man, we're not trying to hurt these players. We're going to keep it simple. Not gonna have a trick play or a gadget play on 4th down, a fake punt, stuff like that. But I don't think you're going all in to try to prove anything in these games.
Which leads me to the question in terms of the Liberty Bowl and Arkansas. Who's gonna be running the ball for Arkansas in this? Now you got a couple of the running back. Braylon Russell into the portal. I'm sure you guys touched on that yesterday. And there's other things I'll hit on with Russell as we go throughout the show. With this apparent rumor of a $1 million demand, like $1 million for a guy that wasn't fully healthy for.
What did I say? 500,000? Is that what I was? I didn't know the numbers. But I was like, I'd give him $500,000. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you multiply that by 2? When you got maybe, and I was kind of toying around with the numbers here thinking, well, how much money do you have to play with? Maybe play with isn't the right idea. With the revenue share dollars up around $20 million or a little over $20 million for the SEC, and you can look at the NIL rankings if they're accurate, and who knows if they really are. Arkansas raised over $10 million. So you're talking about a pool of over $30 million to spend from. Texas, I think, has another $12 to $15 million as the number one NIL school in the country, according to the article I read on 247 Sports. So that's $30 million. Can you put $1 million into a running back, just one running back, who, by the way, wasn't even your featured back last year, and you don't know if he can be your featured back the next year either. So I don't know if this was if it's accurate or not. It's like you see some of the demands that the reported demands that get thrown around, and I truly don't know what to believe, because some of these demands are as outlandish. I mean, as outlandish as you could imagine. It almost makes me feel like people are making some of this stuff up. Like to have a professional driver who must have a Cadillac SUV to drive this receiver. His name's Micah Hudson. Was at Texas Tech, was their top incoming recruit of all time, and he's gone into the portal, and he's going to be at Texas A&M. I don't know if these demands are right, are true or not, but they get thrown around like they're true. One of them, Matt, is a demand to have a personal driver take him to and from spring practice, and it had to be in a Cadillac SUV. To me, I don't know. I don't want to believe that's true, but I don't know what to believe these days.
If you don't ask, the answer is always no. You know what Tomlin says? Tomlin says we want volunteers, not hostages, and that's your coach right there. And so if Braylon Russell doesn't want to be here, if it's not good, you got to look at it based on you're an Arkansas kid. Maybe you take $100,000, $250,000 less a year to stay at Arkansas, and I mean Arkansas takes care of you the rest of your life. It's like you're going to go somewhere else. They don't care about you the way Arkansas cares about you being an Arkansas kid. It's a little bit different but no, the kid, you can't tell kids they're all about instant gratification. What can I get now? I'd be more like, let's defer this if I'm Braylon Russell. Give me $500,000 now, and then for the rest of my life, give me $100,000 a year. Like what are we doing, Bobby Bonilla?
It's the rest of your life thing that you just hit on that I think.
If you're going to ask for a driver, I'm asking for Bobby Bonilla. If we're just getting asked for whatever we want,
let's take $1 million deferred for the next 25 years. But it's like I think of football players that aren't from the state that came to play for the Razorbacks and turned that into a life. A football playing life at the same time, but also once that's done, they stayed in the state and created a career that started with an introduction that might have been like, hey, this guy here played for the Razorbacks, and we're going to try to do him right here and see if create a career out of something else. I think of Gino Bell that I work with on
Quinn Grovey.
Quinn Grovey.
David Basil, Clint Sterner, even basketball, Pat Bradley. I mean, Blake Edens. You start, names go down. Those are out-of-state guys that have made a career. Yeah.
No, this is independent of Braylon Russell, but let's just say, the instant gratification is what you're saying, and I think we're a little naive sometimes to think that there's going to be a hometown discount. Pro sports fans expect it, and very few athletes actually do the hometown discount, so to speak. But if you look ahead in your life, if you're a Braylon Russell or anybody of that age and is from the state, and you're being recruited by Arkansas, that's a lifetime thing.
Because he's only going to play football at most 10 more years from today. Running backs don't play a decade anymore. It's a collision sport. You got to think he's only going to play football if he's lucky 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Because running backs, that's tough living, man.
It's a little bit of spiting your face to bite your nose off. But I'll be really interested to look and see where it is. Everybody now assumes you leave Arkansas and you're someone that it felt like the team might build around, that you're going to Ole Miss. But I saw Ole Miss just brought in another running back. So
I don't think he goes to Ole Miss.
I doubt he goes to Ole Miss, too.
I would see Tennessee would be kind of where Sampson's leaving at Tennessee. And I think.
And they got a steady dose of Russell in October, too.
Dude. Heupel wants to run the rock. I really think Phil coming back, and I haven't seen the whole stable of everybody, but Sampson's gone, Rocket Sanders gone. I think Moss at A&M and Russell at Arkansas, and I don't know if Moss is in the portal or not, but I think those are two of the top 4 running backs that are going to be in the SEC next year. So is that worth $1 million?
Here's the other thing to think about with Russell. The next team he goes to isn't going to be his last team in college either. This is a true freshman. We don't have a high school portal, but if there was one, he tested it 2 or 3 times. This isn't his leg. TJ Finley. You remember that name? TJ Finley started for LSU against Arkansas in 2020. He was at Western Kentucky this year. He's just transferred to Tulane. He's been at LSU, Auburn, Texas State, Western Kentucky, and now Tulane. And Finley was a big-time recruit. And the next team Braylon Russell plays for isn't going to be his last, and it might not even be his second to last team that he plays for.
It hurts a little bit, I think, when you're talented players and they're staying in conference. I mean, I think we're just trying to get over the whole. You're just trying to what's going on now? You're just staying in conference. You're going. 3 guys are going to Ole Miss. Other guys are going. It's wild.
Yeah, it is. The frontier continues to be wild, Matt, and it's right now. I mean, I'd say it's like a never-ending looking frontier, but we're all looking to revenue share. The thing is that right now, the way that they're all recruiting in the transfer portal, this is to revenue share. They're building the 2025 team, which is being paid the added $20 million that every other SEC team is doing. So if you think it's crazy now, and you were looking to revenue share to kind of make a little more sense out of this, yeah. Revenue shares here, and there's even less sense that we have. Halftime today, we have Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, 1:15. We have Pig Trail Nation's Alyssa Orange at 12:15, and nobody except you and us during hour number 1. So you can get on the horn, call, or text 877-377-6963. And remember Crabtree RV Center in Alma, the dealership that continues to serve our listening audience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for going over 7 decades. They're going to make sure your family has the best experience when you're planning RV adventures. They got the service and parts department on site and everything you need at Crabtree RV, junction of I-40 and I-49, right beside the Cracker Barrel in Alma, and online at crabtreerv.com. Stay with us. Halftime returns after this quick break.
Matt Jones, sir, a player that I refer to that provided Hog Delight. You're a great ambassador for our program.
This is halftime.
3 on the way, and it's done. It's over. Denver goes over. The number 1 team in the country is defeated, and they are rushing the court at Budweiser Arena. They are rushing the floor at Budweiser Arena.
Hey, don't do that. No.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for a limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
It's Ty Richardson. We are live at Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, and thank God for Gail Rainwater. Gail, I've got my sister's wedding. She's approved one of the suits you picked out for me. Man, I really appreciate all you've done for me these last couple of years because I've been to like 40-some-odd weddings.
Glad that she approved it. We always get you looking sharp. I know you get a lot of compliments on everything. We appreciate it.
When you stop by, make sure to tell Gail and his staff that Ty sent you.
Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, where it's fun to look good.
It's fall cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment. From the large M7 Series cab Kubotas to the L2502, the best-selling compact tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Gray Brothers and Kubota will make your fall cleanup a breeze. With great pricing and interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months, they're making fall cleanup enjoyable again at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 12/31/2024. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Are you ready to ride like a rock star? Then contact Luxury Limousines. Their 28-foot stretch limousines set up to 8 people. Once you're inside, enjoy superior sound, enhanced lighting, ice-cold AC, plus your own chauffeur to take you anywhere. College games, concerts, special events, and the upcoming Christmas holiday light tour. Just go to Facebook and like Luxury Limousine. Serving Fort Smith and all of Northwest Arkansas. Luxury Limousines.
Hey, Todd Richardson for Jam Mart. Brad, Tyson, and their entire team are so thankful this time of year during the holidays. We appreciate all of our customers that enjoy the beverage bar at Boonville, the hot food at Phoenix, and the deli at Jam Mart number 10. We know you're loving the updated pumps at our gas stations, and we're continuing to strive to find new creative ways to improve every single day. If you love Jam Mart, please leave us a 5-star review on Google. Happy holidays from your friends at Jam Mart.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I came upon a child of God. He was walking along the road, and I asked him, tell me where are you going? He told me, said I'm going down to that's just found on got to get back to the land, set my soul free. We are stars. We are
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I was told that we are staying at the largest casino resort in North Carolina for this Cherokee Invitational that Arkansas women's basketball plays in. They start tomorrow night, be late, 9:30 Eastern time against Liberty, and then either Troy or Toledo the following night. It's the Cherokee Casino Resort. It's a Harrah's property. Really nice place too, Matt. Everywhere you walk, there's the ability to put a little money down if you wanted to. Lots of restaurants. One of those places that is incredibly easy to get lost inside, but of course they plan for you to get lost inside here.
How cool, man. Yeah, I used to love going to Vegas just for the restaurants and the spa just as much as anything. You know, they have some of the best spas. You go to the casino living, man, you get you a spa day for about, you go spend 4 hours, you get a cold tub, a hot tub, you get a massage, you get a sauna, then you go get a facial. I mean, like you just make it last 4 or 5 hours, drink some melon water, get back in the sauna again.
You could get all that stuff in an NFL locker room, right? With the exception of the facial. They're not going to give you moisturizing facials.
Absolutely. No, they'll have somebody come in, man. You don't understand. They'll even have an Escalade, a Cadillac Escalade, pick you up and take you to practice.
I want to believe that this demand is true. I really do want to believe it. I was planning on bringing this up later. But can we make this a demand for somebody coming into Arkansas just so we can report on this? The kid's name is Micah Hudson. He's going to play against the Razorbacks next year for Texas A&M. He was the biggest incoming recruit in Texas Tech football history. So 8 catches, 123 yards, and no touchdowns as a freshman. He's a rising sophomore.
That's per game or that's season totals?
That's the entire season.
Whoa. Yeah, man,
8 catches, 123 yards. Allegedly, the demands are $700K minimum up front to be wired to him immediately
right
to sign.
Now, today.
3 cars for family members. The personal driver with the Cadillac SUV is just the tip of the iceberg. Family hotels and travel arrangements for all road games for up to 10 people. That's 2 offensive lines. And medical injury time off. And then once he returns from injury, his playing status is determined only by Micah and his family.
Oh, I don't want him on my team.
But
you can't be on. You can't. He's not a Razorback, is he? Is that what you're saying?
No, he's an Aggie.
No, that can't be real. That's not real stuff.
It can't be real, right? But it's getting thrown around like it is. I want to believe this is true.
Man, it's got to be an inside. It's got to be a united locker room. It's got to be a united front. You're not going to have success if you're listening to outside noise. I mean, what are the 10 commandments that Bill Parcells goes out? Kind of like the pyramid that Coach Wooden had. He kind of has lists down the first
pyramid of success.
Yeah, I
saw it at UCLA last month.
The first rule for Bill Parcells is you don't listen to the family. Like you can't. The family when it comes to football,
we're the family.
Yeah, when it comes to anything football, you don't listen to any outside noise. Now everything else you can listen to them, but when it comes to what's going on in the locker room with the football, the family doesn't get to decide what happens.
It's like, special treatment is what you're hitting at here, and how it looks to the rest of the team. I thought about this last year. You remember when Sean Payton takes over the Broncos, and the previous regime with Denver had allowed Russell Wilson to have his own quarterbacks coach that wasn't on the Denver payroll but was on Wilson's payroll.
Kind of like Joe Burrow keeps his coach at the house. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Whatever it is that she is, or whatever it is she coaches.
It's on the payroll.
Yeah, she coaches something. I don't know what it is. But remember Peyton's answer? I don't know about all that. It wasn't. But
remember
I
Brady
guess with Wilson, it's a little different. This is somebody that's an accomplished quarterback. This is a kid who's got 8 catches, 123 yards for his career.
Yeah, there's a difference about going. I mean, Brady tried that too. I think his guy wasn't allowed in with Belichick. It's just so weird, Phil, for an outsider. It's not that you can't be embraced and accepted. It's just you. It's a cathedral, man. It's a sanctuary. That locker room. You don't just get to come in there. You don't just get because it's your buddy that knows how to stretch. It's like that doesn't get to. You don't get to come to the locker room for that. That's just weird.
Well, I think it's weird to demand hotel and travel arrangements for up to 10 people for family members. The injury playing time, once you come back from injury, if it's only determined by the family and the player, well, that kind of felt like something that coaches have been dealing with for a while. You look at a couple of instances at Arkansas that I think some folks are pointing to. The money is the thing that is the easiest thing to believe here. $700,000 minimum up front to be wired immediately so he can sign. That stuff you believe. The cars for family members, the personal driver. JT says it better be a Mercedes-Benz. This is a Cadillac.
Man, I'm driving, first of all. Well, y'all better get out of here. Give it that, but I'll drive.
This kid, obvious. Hey, many of us have teenage kids. You know what it's like to be a personal driver. Maybe not in a Cadillac SUV. But it's like some of this stuff is so bizarre that you don't know what to believe. But then there's things that you can just see and believe by looking at it. There's a kid who transferred to Penn State yesterday, a defensive lineman from USC, Bear Alexander. This is to me prototypical of the day and age that we're living in, Matt. Alexander started his career at Georgia. The photo that he put on his Instagram, because everything's got to go on Instagram or Twitter or TikTok. His AVI photo, his profile photo, was him in a USC uniform. The photo that he put on Instagram to announce he's going to Penn State is Bear in a Penn State uniform. He is flexing his right bicep, and on that right bicep is a tattoo of the Georgia logo. So here, that's all 3 teams that he's played. Well, one of them that he's about to play for at some point, and it's right there on his Instagram. The AVI is him in a Trojans uniform. He's wearing a Penn State uniform, but his giant bicep is a Georgia G. It's like this is the you point and say, well, this is just bizarre and wild and crazy, and it is actually true. And watch, this is probably not even the last team he plays for.
I heard he does it for the ladies. Did the ladies tell you look like an optical illusion?
Tell you who is not an optical illusion. It's Terry in Alma. He's giving us a call right now. Thanks for calling Halftime. What's going on?
Another day in paradise. You know, these players, you know, college players wanting all this money, it's getting to the point where us regular fans that aren't rich, you know, we're sort of sick of them, all their demands, and it sort of reminds me of the Major League Baseball strike. Well, the fans need to strike. I mean, we're getting tired of all this crap.
Well, Terry, let me ask you. So you can point to the strike from '94, and that definitely hurt baseball's popularity for a few years until the home run race brought it back. People voted with their money and voted with their television sets. You are a Razorback fan, Terry. I don't think you'd be calling the show if you weren't. Are you going to watch the Liberty Bowl? And how are you planning to take in football next year if you think that far ahead?
Well, it's going to have to be more than me to turn the TV off. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, these kids are just getting way out of hand. There's got to be some guidelines and regulations about for it so we can, you know, get a level playing field.
All right, Terry, I think thanks for the call very much. 877-377-6963. I mean, I hear a lot of folks that have called into the show, texted into the show, Matt tweeted, put it on Facebook, that they're considering that this to them feels like a final straw of the chaos right now, and they're saying I don't know if I can be a fan of this any longer. We'll see how they feel in August when the build up to the season, and then what the ratings look like, because the college football ratings continue to be sky high.
You know, as an offense, you really have to whittle down your offensive game plan. I mean, it's so hard when you have such a high turnover. Really, I mean, you got to teach them about 3 or 4 run concepts and about 3 or 4 pass concepts that have option routes on them. Like, that's about all you can put in 6 months and feel confident to run about. You know, that's who was that said Bobby Petrino's playbook's 400 page? You know how big it's like. He can only use about 12% of that. Like, and these kids, they're not going to be able to learn enough and be able to go out there and play with confidence and success and react. Now, some of them can, but for the most part, you're not dealing with scholars here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, I think it's a crazy road to think of the idea of a playbook, and it's more of a play pamphlet these days. 877-377-6963. We are right up against the break. We'll take your calls when we come back.
Hasta la vista, baby.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
It's that time of year. Longer nights and colder weather can mean higher energy bills. But Arkansas Oklahoma Gas wants to help you save on your energy costs this winter. A healthy heating system equals a happy home and wallet. Ensure it runs efficiently by scheduling regular maintenance with a licensed technician. Adjust ceiling fans to spin clockwise to help push warm air down. Keep your thermostat on a lower setting, health allowing, and layer up on clothing. For more money-saving tips, visit AOGC.com/winner.
Hi, I'm Truett Tollett with WT Equipment in Springfield. As the year ends, we're motivated to move inventory and meet all your equipment needs. Take advantage of year-end pricing on New Holland, Bobcat, Hustler, Steel, and more across our 8 locations in Arkansas and Louisiana. Stop by for a cup of coffee or visit us online at WTEquip.com. Thank you for your business, and we wish you a Merry Christmas, a safe New Year, and a prosperous 2025.
Finding your joy in cycling is the main goal at Champion Cycling. Champion Cycling takes pride in helping you find the right bike. Whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure, Champion Cycling has a great selection of bikes, including brands like Specialized Surly and Salsa. Need service or repair? The friendly, professionally trained technicians will assess your bike's needs and provide you with a free, no-obligation estimate. Find your joy in cycling at Champion Cycling, 5500 Mazur Road in Fort Smith.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Say you plainly, baby, what I plan to do. Say you but I ain't no fool. Your daddy's rich, you're the two. You ain't the one, baby. Been messing with you.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, it looks like Arkansas may be bringing in a transfer. A wide receiver, Chris Hummer, is reporting. He's from 247 Sports, CBS Sports. Cam Shanks, who you might have seen play for UAB at Arkansas this year. 5'8", 180-pound redshirt freshman. He was the first-team AAC All-Conference punt return specialist, third team as a wide receiver, led the nation in punt return yards and punt return averaged 20.6 per punt return.
That means he's fearless, man. That means he has a lot of courage, Phil. Any of these guys that do punt return, they have courage, man. It's a special cat to return punts because you don't get to see, man. You can just get your head knocked off. You know, you gotta kind of be aware, man. It can like that. So yeah, I like it. That means he's tough. So I like it.
Got some callers lined up. Let's get to them while we got a few minutes here before the next break. Joe in Fort Smith is up with us first. Good morning, Joe. Thanks for calling. What's going on?
Hey, gentlemen. I've got maybe a kind of a boring question, but I've not heard anyone speak of this. You know, with the transfer portal, people, going to 2 to 3 to 4 schools in their career. Can they graduate? I mean, do classes typically transfer if you go from Arkansas to Ole Miss or Texas to USC? I mean, how does that work academically? And you may or may not know, but anyway, I've thought about that and just curious. Thanks.
Well, Joe, as a former student who transferred, that nobody worried about since I wasn't playing college athletics, not everything transfers. It's just I don't really know how it's decided. Most of it does, just not everything transfers. I had to take a couple classes twice.
Most all your undergrad classes should transfer, and then when you kind of get up to some of the more specific areas of teaching, of learning, then sometimes stuff like that doesn't transfer. But they wink, they move you right along, man. You're an athlete. You're valuable to the program, to the institution. They're not if you can play, they're going to get you in. And these kids don't care if they lose 12 credits when they transfer. They care about a Cadillac driver and $700,000. You know, they're not worried about 7 credits that don't transfer over.
Good morning, Chase, who's called us from Fort Smith. Thanks for calling, Chase. What's up?
Hey, yeah, I wanted to speak to the caller earlier that was saying, you know, maybe the fans should strike. I think it's a little extreme, but you have to just keep in mind, as long as there are no rules, we have competitive athletes. They're going to play competitive. They're going to try to get money competitively. So for every $1 million deal that's made, that sets the precedent for the next one. And I feel like the biggest complaints come from football. It doesn't really seem to be a concern when it comes to baseball or basketball. Same situation with the playoffs. Nobody seems too concerned about how we handle the March Madness or how playoffs are set for baseball. It almost seems like football needs a rehaul that's somewhat separated from the conferences and looks something more like the NFL playoffs, where conferences are more regional and evenly weighted. And then along with that, you can have salary caps that are evenly weighted. And to speak for all the number of schools, you could just set it up similar to the way the Premier League works, where you get relegated and move up into different areas. So something above D1 is what we would have to do.
It's interesting ideas there, Chase, that's for sure. I'll say this, I think you're right in terms of baseball, basketball. It doesn't feel like the postseason structure is broken at all, and you don't have to really toy with it very much. And the idea of maybe adding 4 teams to the basketball tournament, you know, and most people don't seem to really want that. Nobody's changing anything up with the College World Series and the baseball tournament, and they've made the women's tournament even bigger so that it matches what you got with the men's tournament. There's a couple instances here and there where someone transfers before the NIT, but I don't hear anybody, you know, calling to overhaul the system for college basketball, because I think we've been a little more used to roster fluidity in college basketball with one and dones. And baseball, before all this transfer portal thing happened, it was the most fluid roster in college sports. It's football where things feel like it is, you don't really have a foundation, you know, especially this time of the year. And you know, look, there's no rules, and we're looking for some sort of rules. I know I keep going back to this, but I think this is the catch-all. This is where things actually start to get fixed, to where there's a system that makes sense. There has to be representation for the players. There has to be collective bargaining. The schools are going to have to give in, and they're going to have to look at these guys as as employees. The student athletes as employees too. They're going to have to give into it. If they want rules, that's the way you get rules that are all agreed upon. 877-377-6963. Eduardo will take us into the break. Good morning, Eduardo. How are you?
I'm doing fine, sir. I hope you enjoyed your trip. As we get back, as I was listening to Bo Madley drinking my coffee this morning at my desk, you know, my spirits have been down. I had to find a way as a fan, a passionate fan over the decades, to uplift them. And all I had to do when I looked around is look at the players that hang on my wall. Matt Jones hangs on my wall. Darren McFadden hangs on my wall. Brandon Burlsworth hangs on my wall. And many other players hang on. Ryan Mallett hangs on my wall. So I had to take a trip down memory lane. Let me say this about our program. Hopefully, you know, as a fan, you know, you can get down. Even the most passionate can get down in spirit. But, you know, always cheer before who you cheer for, and which is your team program. Hopefully you're a Hall fan for life. And I had to go back and relight my candles. And so I just hope things turn around. All I want for the new year is to have a better season next year, some good players that want to play for our program, that we have a better record, that we get back beating the teams they're supposed to beat. I don't think that's too much to ask. And a better offensive line than what we've had for 5 years. Certainly we can have an offensive line at the U of A better, certainly in the top 100 for sure, but certainly we need to have an offensive year in and year out, in my opinion, in the top 25 year in and year out. No excuses. And so, with that being said, all I want for Christmas is a Liberty Bowl win, and get my spirits renewed again, relight those candles, and I'll still be riding this train when I die. Thank you for taking my call, gentlemen.
Eduardo, thank you for listening to our show. What would Eduardo like for Christmas? I'll tell you what I'd like for Hanukkah is a photo of Eddie in whatever the room is that he's got all the Razorbacks hanging on the wall, and I want to see what he's like before. He's got to have a seance before all these games. And Matt, you hang on Eduardo's wall. How does that make you feel?
I'm an Eduardo fan.
Well,
the Sherpa called yesterday. Because I get my feelings hurt sometimes when you're out. A lot of people don't call anymore. They're like, "Where's Phil Elson? Where's Phil Elson?" And so the Sherpa called when you were away. That was like the first time at it. So it meant a lot to me.
Makes you feel good. It's nice, warm, fuzzy. Just like a really nice fur blanket, a fake fur blanket, of course. Craving anything sweet and delicious? You can always get over to Andy's Frozen Custard on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. They're also in Conway on East Oak Street and on Dave Ward Drive. There's a location in North Little Rock on JFK Boulevard. You got family coming in for the holidays. Take home a pick 6. That's 6 of your favorite flavors. It is the perfect holiday treat at Andy's Frozen Custard. Walk up or drive through, always ready to serve you. We'll break. We'll come back and wrap up the first hour in just a moment.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
This is halftime.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for a limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the Mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This Rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Happy holidays from Sharp Equipment. You may be eligible to take advantage of the year-end tax credits with buying a new Wacker-Neuson before the new year. Sharp Equipment has excavators, skid steers, and other compact equipment in stock. Stop in at our yard location at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith to start your new year off right with a new Wacker-Neuson. Sharp Equipment, ready to serve you in all areas of Wacker-Neuson needs and more. Visit sharpequipment.com or call 479-649-0500.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. That's GoForsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. For instance, TCU walked into the locker room at halftime in the 2016 Alamo Bowl, down 31-0. The Horned Frogs stormed into the second half and erased the 31-point deficit to force overtime, and eventually won it in the third overtime, 47-41.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
She was terminally pretty. She had and get up on some go get it. He had the reputation as a cruel. They said he was ruthless. Said he was cruel. One day he come, they were good and bad. She said, the lights are turning red.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Thanks for tuning in to Halftime. We did a really quick segment. I know we got some callers lined up, but I want to give you guys some time to actually flesh out your thoughts. So we'll take calls once we come back after the upcoming break, which is about a minute away. So I'll apologize for getting a little bit loose as far as some of that last segment was concerned. So with the apparent commitment, I don't think anything's been announced yet, but once these things start to come out, and you know, it looks like it's true to me. I bringing in two receivers so far: Raylan Sharp from Fresno, Cam Shanks from UAB. A couple of offensive linemen, someone that I would assume would be one of your starting tackles next year in Jaquan McCoy, 6'8", 375, Matt, with 3 years of eligibility out of Oregon. You got a cornerback that might be one of your starters, defensive end out of Michigan State. 6 players on the way in and 24 transferring out.
You know, so as an Arkansas fan, what is your opinion of the kid that's leaving Oregon? They're just about to have a chance to win a national title, and he doesn't even want to be there. I mean, how much do you think he really is all about it? You know, I just kind of stuff like that as a coach. I have to wonder, your team, you're still on the team, aren't you? Why are you quitting on your team as they're getting into the playoff 12? Is that a good locker room guy? Is that the person you want coming in? I don't know. But don't you have to have those conversations?
Yeah, that's also, you got to have a conversation about it, but it's got to be also, these guys are put in a really tough situation because of how the portal works. They got to get in now or they're never going to be able to get in, playoffs or not. That's what the last caller was getting at. It's, to me, a sign of a broken system in college football. We'll come back into the second hour. Stay with us.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Catch your wife kissing Santa Claus, whose real name is Bobby from down the street? Want to know your rights in a divorce, custody, child support case? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Call me today to discuss your options. Start the new year off with a new lease on life for you, and let Santa have her. Mock Legal Solutions, 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
When I need a place to stay in Northwest Arkansas, I always choose the Inn at the Mill. It's centrally located in the heart of NWA at the Johnson exit off I-49 and is the most unique choice of hotels in the region. Whether you're in town for the game, a concert at the Amp, business travel, or just a weekend away, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious, clean room ready for you. Reserve your stay at the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800, or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds with the potential for just a few showers across the south. High temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. We'll see showers and some thunderstorms tonight. Overnight lows in the low 40s north, right around the mid 50s south, and then another chance of showers and storms across the south Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What they for one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back into halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing, and Pig Trail Nation's Alyssa Orange in about 15 minutes. It is a very nice day here in Cherokee, North Carolina, about an hour west of Asheville, maybe about an hour and a half south of Knoxville. We are here in the Appalachian Mountains, pretty close to the Great Smokies. Very, very pretty. But this is also one of those deals here, this casino resort. I don't know how many people actually go outside here because it's all about the indoor stuff, the spa, the restaurants, the casino gambling, and the basketball, which is being played on a little bit of an ersatz floor. I'll get into that later when we do Fugazi here in hour number 2. But it might not be the best basketball court that I've ever seen in my life. So it'll be an interesting couple of games. Matt, did you ever play on a basketball court where you want to see if the rims are loose or tight, and it's like, well, this isn't a loose rim. This is a loose goal standard. Like the entire thing shakes when you miss a shot off of it.
Yeah, that's not in a while. I guess the difference in girls basketball to guys basketball is swinging on the rim. I don't know that there's I'm not saying girls can't dunk, but I don't think they play above the rim. So maybe you wonder about the people who are building the setup. Have they ever played the game? That's where I got. Who did y'all contract out to set this basketball court up? But has any of them ever played like that? Doesn't even make sense.
Again, I'll detail what this looks like later on in this second hour for Fugazi. We got some callers lined up. Want to get to them. You want to get on 877-377-6963. Jawan waited for quite a while. And Jawan, I appreciate your patience. I didn't want to have you on for just a minute because you come with such lucid, well-thought-out calls. I wanted to let you flesh things out a little bit. So, Jawan, you have the floor.
I
What's up?
appreciate it, Phil. Man, this generation right here of football players, man, I really wonder who's in their corner and who's telling them the right from the wrong with all this money flowing around. Guys are not participating, even playing in their freshman year, but demanding that kind of money for an unproven commodity. This is the second story in 2 days I've seen. Yesterday was Jalen Mbakwe. I don't know if you guys seen it. Freshman cornerback at Alabama.
Alabama, yeah.
Told
Kid from
Kalen
Alabama,
DeBoer.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, from Alabama. Told Kalen DeBoer he wants a guaranteed starting spot and $700,000. My guess is Kalen DeBoer turned him down, so he got into the portal. Come on, man. What are we doing? These kids don't do two-a-days. They don't even know what that kind of grind is like. And then what makes it worse is some schools are actually complying with these ransom offers from the schools. That's why you see these kids in Lamborghinis, Bentleys, Cybertrucks, all kind of crazy cars. And you see these other kids who actually say you want to be a true commitment. Let's say Michigan, for example, because I've seen this also. They had a kid, Brady Hark, from Florida, who was the Gatorade Player of the Year. Well, if you're giving Bryce Underwood $10 million, am I nothing? Because you're not offering me anything. And I came here just to come be developed, to be a Wolverine, to play ball for you guys. So I think that's killing the game also. People thinking that some of these guys are going to instantly change your – I haven't seen a $10 million player yet come to college football. That's me personally. I haven't seen any of these guys come in and change the program. Ryan Williams was really good this year. Alabama still went 9-3, and they're still sitting at home, not going to the playoffs. I think some of these coaches need to be a little bit stricter and start telling these kids no, and really try to find the kids who aren't financially hungry. And some of these demands, you said the guy wanted 10 of his family members to be accommodated for games on the road. That's not, I don't even think some of these professional teams do that many players. That many family and friends. That's a lot, man, especially for a college kid. Can you picture being in the locker room with that guy? I wouldn't want to play with him. And I'm like, Matt, I wouldn't have that kind of kid on my team. You want a car with a driver? You haven't even scored a touchdown. You said he had 8 catches, 120 yards last year, Phil?
Mm-hmm.
That's not very good at all.
And these are alleged demands, Jawan. I want to believe them because it's so outlandish. But I almost can't believe them because of the outlandish nature of it. Like, all he is a prospect. He hasn't shown that he can do what it is that he thinks that he can do based on his demands. And there's no guarantee that any of that ever happens.
Playing time is earned, man. That's all I know. If you're a coach and you're talking to players and whatever, it's like I can play you whatever you earn. I can't just say you're going to get this allotted amount of playing time. You have to earn playing time.
Well, think of how many professional players get a little extra long leash to hang themselves with because they make X amount of dollars.
That's because they scored 17 touchdowns. That's because Terrell Owens was a beast. That's because whatever Randy Moss is going through right now, I wish him well, but that dude's one of the best to ever play. They can. What did Jimmy Johnson say? Yeah, my better players have a longer leash. If you're not as good, you better be sitting up front and not make mistakes.
Well, you would also see, and this is in terms of development, in a different sport, in baseball, you'd see guys that would get drafted and, first, second round, they get the big bonus, and they get they get extra time to prove that they don't belong than somebody that didn't sign for that amount of money or signed for nothing. Those are the guys that have to have 2 great seasons in a row. The guys that have, that get the $4 million signing bonus or something, well, if they have an 0 for 30, they'll have a chance to go 0 for 60. It's just what you invest in somebody means sometimes you're willing to give them a longer leash to hope that your investment works out.
Adrian Peterson would have been the closest $10 million college football player. Reggie
Probably.
Bush, Darren McFadden, those would be the guys. That's why I think running backs are still powerful in college football, and they help these young quarterbacks. Running backs are still just one of the most valuable assets on a football team. But we're talking about guys that would be worth the money. Those are 3 guys that I would think, man. I mean, at least $2 million. You'd give an Adrian Peterson $2 million to run the rock for you. No question about it.
But that's also so when we're talking about this and looking at the idea, is this $1 million demand from Braylon Russell real or made up or fugazi? And the way that we're talking about it makes it feel like it is a real demand because of the importance of the position in college. The idea that Braylon obviously thinks that he should be a number 1 back. Otherwise, you're not asking for that. Is that what a number 1 back gets? I'm not just a number 1 back, but a bell cow. 20 to 25 carries. Somebody that you build your offense around.
And you got DeBinion as the other one. I mean, those are your 2 backs right there that you can go. That would have been a good backfield. I don't know the market. We don't know. We all we know is what people say, and who knows if they're telling the truth.
We got Charlie with us next. Good afternoon, Charlie. Thanks for calling. What's up?
Man, this stuff is crazy. I could write a book about this, and I think it would actually be a hit. I mean, I seriously, I need a good editor for.
Charlie's about to be the king of all media. He self-scouts for the radio show. He's next thing he's doing is he's writing a book, which, by the way, apparently is going to be a bestseller.
I mean, Phil, because I'm going to hire you to edit all of my screw-ups because you're my guy. So
you don't want me to edit. Clay Henry is a great professional editor if we can pay him enough.
Listen, to piggyback off Jawan, I want to twist this kind of around and turn it the other way, too. I was listening to James Franklin's thing yesterday. Did you hear that, Phil? Did you hear him talk about kind of the state of college football right now?
Did not. Missed it.
Okay. Well, it's similar to what that caller said earlier. Are we really – he was talking about his quarterback, I think his second-team quarterback that's entering the portal. And he said he does not blame him. He does not blame him because of the situation that they're put in. And you brought this up. If they don't get in the portal right away when it opens, you're right. What these spots they're gonna fill quickly. And it's like, so you're putting – and I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I was 18 to 22 years old, I don't care I had no clue. I don't care how talented you are as a football player, as an athlete, but you're not a grown-up yet. I don't care what anyone tells you. You're just not. You don't know yet. You haven't experienced certain things. And then you got people in your ear that, in my opinion, they don't always have your best interest either. So as a kid, I want to look at it from their standpoint. It's hard for me to judge an 18 to 22-year-old college athlete right now. It's hard because I have no idea. I have no idea what they're going through. And for me to sit here and criticize every decision that they make, I just can't do it because I know that they got people in their ear that honestly, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but let's be real, they're not always out for the kid. They're out for what they can get out of it too, right? Whether it be an agent, I'm sorry, people's family members too. Like, not everybody's in it for the kid. Now, I'm not saying I want it to go back to the way it used to be, because you have the other side of the coin where the coaches and the program had all the power and they could just pull your scholarship whenever they wanted to and tell you to hit the road. So this is my thing, Phil. I have no idea how they can get to a middle ground on this, because I don't want to go back to the old way, but I darn sure don't want it to stay the way it is right now, because it's awful, to be honest. And it's just
Charlie, I got to tell you, I mean, if you're going to write a book on this, you better come with a solution. No one's going to buy a book without a solution.
I don't have a.
If you want me to be your editor, that would be my first edit.
Hey, the first few chapters ain't about the solution. That'll be like chapter 10 at this point, because I would have to come up with it while I'm writing it. It's just, I don't know what the solution is, Phil. And is this revenue sharing thing going to help? I mean, I don't know. And I feel sorry for these kids, man. It really, like you were talking about, Matt, the lineman that we got coming in. But my thing is, Phil, you talked about it. The portal opens right after what? So they don't really have a choice but to go ahead and
closes
get
on the
in.
28th, which is the day that I think the quarterfinals are played.
Anyway, and the thing is, the academic thing, too, they're student athletes. So all this plays a part in this as when they can enter and all that. So it's crazy, man. Anyways, I'll have a good one.
Thanks, Charlie. You know, and part of this is also the spot where football falls on the calendar. I mean, the reason you don't have this kind of thing happening before the college baseball tournament is because it's just the calendar doesn't work that way. It's the end of a semester, and everybody can kind of transfer out when it makes sense and end up with a school that makes sense to them. Basketball's very much the same way. Football's not. This is a sport that, because of where it's placed in the calendar, also just doesn't lend itself to, at least right now, players and labor and employers being protected on both sides. Cabbage Head is here. He'll take us into the break. Good afternoon, Cabbage Head. What's up?
Hey, Phil, good bumper music, as I always enjoy your bumper music. I was wondering if you ever had a chance to hear the Eagles since Vince Gill and Fry's son played. Of course, I'd like to see them, but I'd have to have your money and Matt's to buy one of those tickets.
If I had Phil's money, I'd burn mine.
I think I may end up needing to own one of the radio stations we air on to afford tickets to the Eagles. No, I have not heard them since they had Vince Gill.
Well, I tell you, I bet Vince is he's pulling up his way because I've been a fan of his for a long time, and of course his wife Amy Grant. That's a good pair. But anyway, this portal thing, guys, I don't know. I guess the reason they do it the way they do it is nobody wants to take a chance in getting hurt in a bowl game. But are we going to have any good players left to play our bowl game? Or maybe Texas Tech had some leave. But, man, it looks like they would do that portal thing when these bowl games were over. You know what I'm saying, guys?
Everybody's up for the bowl game. It doesn't do anything to your eligibility. So every single player can play in the bowl game so whatever you are, it doesn't matter.
Well, those some of them that have left, is what I'm saying. I'd like to have them there playing in our bowl game, but some of them aren't. They're going to be gone. But I don't know. I'm like the last caller. There's some things about this portal that's okay, and then there's some things about it that's not okay. Maybe they can tweak it so it works out a little bit better, but I don't think it's there. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate your call, Cabbage Head. Thank you. Let's squeeze in one from Jared in Russellville before we talk with Alyssa Orange. Jared, what's going on? You're on halftime.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. One thing I want to say about this, and this is just my opinion. I don't know if this would work or not, but to kind of solve this problem, we're talking about the transfer portal and all of this tampering that's going on. Definitely happening through Ole Miss. They're talking to people all across the country, including Razorbacks. But I think that what should happen is A, there should be a salary cap like the NFL, but B, there should be if you choose a college that you're going to, you should go there for 2 years and then to be able to transfer one time, and whenever you agree to that school with after that 2 years, whatever school you go to, wherever that is, you either graduate or go to college from there. And that would solve a little bit of this. Like, I think Chandler Morris is going on his 4th or 5th school. I mean, that's crazy.
Where did I see he signed? I know he was at North Texas this last year. Is he looking at West Virginia? I think it was a Power 4 school.
It was Virginia. I think it's Virginia. Yep. And so it's just crazy. Like, there's no commitment. There's no longing to be a Razorback like Matt was. Like, he longed to be a Razorback and stayed there his entire career. Like, do we even, or is that even going to be an option anymore? Seeing a person that stays at a school for the length of their entire career. I mean, I don't know. It's sad because I grew up wanting to be, Darren McFadden or, whatever the case may be, whoever you think of. And another question is, do you think we could have kept Darren McFadden, Felix Jones,
Houston Nutt. Houston Nutt could. Houston Nutt's a G. They don't care about Arkansas kids here.
Yeah,
there's a different mentality. Coach Nutt had a fence up. We didn't lose every. He might have lost 5 total guys that could play in state his whole tenure here. If you were good and can play in the state, he got you.
So I also wonder. Hold on. Let's just take a quick thought on the idea. Let's just look at some of the Arkansas kids you've lost into the portal too. In Satania and Russell, I mean, those are Arkansas kids that are going into the portal, and you would have thought maybe they would have wanted to be Razorbacks too. But that's looking at it potentially from an old-fashioned perspective. And the perspective that we should have on Russell is it's a kid that transferred a couple times in high school, and it's the same mentality now in college. So it's not a matter for him that he was going to be a Hog. This was the stepping stone to the next place.
Well, how do you think we get to that point where it's not a stepping stone for people anymore, and we're like a destination for like players in basketball and baseball right now, or track or any other sport you can think of besides maybe women's basketball, that we're the destination and not the step up.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a chicken and an egg thing, I think, when it comes to it here. In some ways, a new coach hire, I think, energizes donors in that sense. I think North Carolina is one of those schools right now that you're looking at in that term. Winning will bring in more money and will make it look like will not just make it look, it will be a more attractive destination. And the NIL figures, I think, ends up going along with the wins. Arkansas has become a destination for men's basketball. Jared, appreciate your phone call. Thank you. And it's become a destination for baseball and has for a while. In terms of football, I think it in this case it's going to have to be the success that comes before bringing in more money. And then the other aspect of this, which I think Jared was hitting on. And again, it's an idea of no rules. He's got great ideas for amount of times you can transfer and a cap on NIL earnings and all of that stuff. I want one of the lawyers who represents the NCAA to call up here so we can actually talk about what will do this, which is collective bargaining first and foremost. So thanks for all those calls. We got a break. Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation is waiting on us. We'll have her after this.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
This is halftime.
We'd like our program to reflect our state, the great state of Arkansas. Loyal, tough, hardworking. One of our goals every year is to make the state of Arkansas proud of the football team. In my office is a sign that says you're not coming to play for the University of Arkansas. You're coming to play for the state of Arkansas.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Finally, football season. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is your #1 place to watch Arkansas and Monday Night Football. During Monday Night Football, $5 refillable beer cups for only $2 refills. Prizes for each score and at the end of every single quarter.
Can you believe that they've had the same great pizza since 1996? That's nearly 30 years.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. You'll get the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. Here at ESPN Arkansas, we rely on Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on the radio station when we're not here. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your stuff. Guardtronic, license E50.
Hitting the road this summer? Do what truck drivers do. Bring plenty of 5-Hour Energy. You'll get the alert, energized feeling you need to get where you're going and do everything you want to do when you get there. It's small, light, and portable, like it was made for road trips. Just crack it open, knock it back, and keep both hands on the wheel. Because when it comes to road trips,
are we there yet?
Safety comes first. 5-Hour Energy. Energy on the go. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, I knocked to a window to leave her a note. Will you come meet me at the back of the grove? All the trees were in bloom, that sweet smell in the air. We were trembling together. We were young, we were scared, yeah. True love, hard to find. I can see it, yeah. Lost there.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
And we welcome you back to Halftime. Pig Trail Nation's Alyssa Orange is joining us on our hotline right now. Always appreciate a visit from Alyssa. Happy Tuesday, Alyssa. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing good. I'm having a beer with a friend at Fossil Cove. Can I say that? It's afternoon, so
no,
I feel like I'm safe
no
to say
judgment
that.
here, Alyssa.
Hey, you're off today. Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
I am.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Enjoy. So what is it you're having? Tell us what's in the glass.
Thank you. I really like is it their Tripel or their triple Fossil Cove triple Tripel? I might be
Triple.
pronouncing it
It's
wrong.
pretty strong. It's
The
a really
triple.
strong one, isn't it?
Well,
Like
Don't tell
hoppy,
me
like an
about
IPA? Go.
you know I love hoppy beers.
There you
I'm
go.
an IPA girl, but I have to be careful because it's noon.
Fair enough.
We are trying to
Yeah.
make sense of the portal. I guess everybody's trying to make
Ugh.
sense of this right now, Alyssa. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the best way to put it.
They've been
Christian in the
drinking too many
background saying,
IPAs.
The transfer portal is having more beers, but the transfer portal's at work today.
Portal's making me drink over here, guys. Let's be honest.
Alyssa, are you? We've had a couple callers and texters say that they're tired. They're tired of this. I had a texter that says, "I listen religiously to every single Arkansas baseball game. He's gave up his football season tickets. He won't watch. He held those season tickets for 30 years."
Yeah.
Do you think we're
Wow.
going to see more of this? Because the ratings continue to stay up, and sometimes I wonder if the ratings might even be artificially pumped.
Yeah, it's that itself is a question. But the portal is frustrating, and I think a lot of people are just over it. At first, people didn't understand it. And it's evolved over the past couple of years from a frustration to just I'm just not going to tolerate it anymore. So you have fans who do exactly what that guy did and just give up their season tickets and say, I wipe my hands clean of this. And that's heartbreaking for people who have been fans of teams for so long and loyal season ticket holders or what have you. Like, it would break my heart if I ever got to a point where I felt like I had to hang up my FSU gear because I was just over what was going on in the state of college athletics, but you also then too have to understand, and we saw it last year and we're seeing more and more of it this year, I'm going to ask for $1 million. Okay, well, you're not worth $1 million, so I'm sorry, but you can leave. And people are getting shopped around, or you see on social media where it's like, we want this much money, we want cars for my family, I want an escort to practice. It's like, what are we doing here? And this is not what the NIL was supposed to be. It's just so that guys can't make money off of you in their little sports shops with their jerseys and your name on them. It's not here I am and let me shop me around to the highest bidder, and that's where we are, and that's where the frustration lies from for me. If it was just, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy a Taylon Green jersey. Taylon Green deserves to have some kind of stipend or what have you from the sales of his jersey because of his name. I'm buying a Taylon Green jersey. I'm not buying a Andrew Armstrong jersey or a Luke Haz jersey. I'm buying a Taylon Green jersey. He deserves a little bit of that. This is not a pay for play, and it's exactly what it's turned into. Now you also look at tampering, you throw that in there, and the frustration of feeling like there are certain teams that are just targeting kids and pulling them away. And then now but what is the NCAA going to do? And that's the biggest thing, is a lot of these schools have said, I dare you to come after us in 10 years because I'm not scared of you anymore.
Hey, Alyssa, I want to ask you about something that's going to be happening this weekend, and it's the college football 12, and you got the 4 games that are going to be playing, and right now, I know Phil and I have talked about it. I think Phil has all the favorites. I got Tennessee as an underdog that has a chance. Who do you like? Do you think all 4 favorites? Who do you have in these first 4 games? What's a matchup that you like where you think the underdog could win?
Yeah, I like that Tennessee pick. I can get on that with you, Matt. I like that. I refuse to make any kind of judgment, say in the Notre Dame Indiana game, because I have Evan, who's an Indiana grad, and then Jacob is from South Bend in the office, and so I'm just playing Switzerland on that game.
Smart.
Not saying anything. And you
got Texas, Clemson, and Penn State, SMU.
Well, I will always go with Texas over Clemson because I want Clemson to lose every weekend of every football season.
I like the reasoning too.
Oh, and thank you. You know what? And I like a good SMU story. I think this whole Rhett Lashley team has been really fun to watch, and I love the storyline. So let's go SMU. What does that give me? 2-2?
I like it. I think that when it first came out, I told Phil, Phil and I were talking, and I thought SMU had the best chance. And the more I looked at it, I'm starting to lean towards Tennessee. But SMU impressed me with their front 7, how they were able to kind of, they got down early, but their physicality, because Clemson, I know, is a real physical team, and SMU, they kind of matched their physicality, so I think that's good going forward.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're just going to see some really good football games, which I'm very excited about, and I hope it lives up to all the hype, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Have you noticed that we don't have these kinds of conversations in May leading up to the baseball tournament? We don't have these kinds of conversations in late February or early March leading up to March Madness. Usually those conversations are with baseball. It's like, all right, wouldn't it be great if they moved the draft back to where it used to be? I mean, it's stuff that's sort of out of control of college sports. With basketball, all right, are we adding 4 more teams? Are we going to put over 100 teams in, that kind of thing? It never feels like the sport is at a crossroads where, you worry about its existence. College football stands alone in the – I shouldn't put it in the terms of worrying about its existence. People think it's going to go away. It's too popular to go away. I mean, there's the reason the money is there is because it's such a popular enterprise. But this is a standalone thing in terms of – I mean, just look at Penn State's backup quarterback transferring because he doesn't have another option and he wants to play. Is that, to me, that is indicative of a sick sport.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, already, I know that Brandon Marcello wrote an article about just like things that the College Football Committee has learned or things that they might have done differently in hindsight, right? And then they just put this together last week. Did you see Jeff Traylor, former Arkansas running back coach and the head coach at UTSA, talking about on social media, this clip was put out there, on how truly, it's an adult problem, not a kid problem, because you have an academic calendar fighting against the college football calendar. And so a prime example with the Penn State quarterback is that as much as he probably doesn't want to leave his team during the college football playoffs, he doesn't have much of a choice in the transfer portal, because if he wants to get in there and he wants to get enrolled at a school and go through spring ball, he's got to do it in this academic calendar, and they're on Christmas break for the next 3 weeks. And so he's got to get that done now and, bid adieu and best of luck to Penn State on their journey to a national championship, because he wants to see what that next opportunity is. And so that's what I think is wrong. You want to talk about things that are broken. You want to talk about things that just are not well put together or organized. I mean, that kind of and the transfer portal is as toxic as it's ever been, but it boils down to this academic versus college football calendar. And you really can't move college football, and you really can't move the academic calendar either. And so I was talking about this earlier in the week. You might have to look at, there is no penalty for transferring right now, and there used to be. So do you have to make a rule, and I'll throw this out there, that says if you're going to go in the transfer portal and you transfer, you cannot enroll in a new school until the summer. Okay, that's your penalty. You don't get to go through spring ball. You don't get a spring semester at this new school. You have to enroll in that new school in the summer, and that's where you pick things up. And maybe that's where the transfer window adjusts back to not allow people to go into the spring. That's your penalty of sorts. But then you don't have guys like this leaving when his team's competing for a national championship, because he's just got to find a place to be in the next few weeks.
Yeah. All right. Last thing before we let you go, about Russell going into the portal 2 days ago. It's the last guy to go in. I think I'm counting 24 and 6 on the way in now, if the Cam Shanks news is correct. Do we think that's it in terms of players that might be leaving the program? And hopefully these guys are getting ready for the Liberty Bowl, because it's the middle of practice now.
I think it is. I think it is right now, and we'll see another wave maybe after the bowl game, maybe after spring. But right now, I think the dust is kind of settled for Arkansas. You'd hope so. I say that hopeful that it is, but I do. I think guys have kind of settled down now. And if you were going to leave, you kind of already would have left. Braylon Russell was just very indecisive.
Yeah, well, I wonder what it was that got him back in and then put him back out there. But
I think we all know, Phil.
Yes,
I think
that's
we
right.
all know.
Alyssa, appreciate your time. Enjoy the next IPA, okay?
Thank you. Not too many, though, I promise.
Thanks, Alyssa.
Right. It's Alyssa Orange
Thanks,
with
guys.
us every Tuesday on Halftime, and I think Christian sounds quite a bit envious.
It was something the young kid, something I've never heard. The young kids turn up. Did the kids say that?
They're turning it up. My kids don't say that.
Turn up. I like how white you said that right there. Turning it up.
Turning it up. That's right. It's the full word with the G on the end and making sure that you put all the emphasis on the correct syllables. 877-377-6963. Halftime back in a moment.
They were so convincing in their argument, they swung me.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
This is halftime.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hanging with Danny Cobb at American Welding Laboratories. Danny, tell us about the school.
Well, Tommy, we're going on 3 years in operation. We teach all aspects of welding, from stick welding all the way to combination pipe.
So how's the job market these days?
Job market's wide open, whether you want to stay local or hit the road. As a licensed institution, we have access to many grants, including the GI Bill now.
Great. How do we get started?
Come by 4400 South 16th, take a tour, talk to our instructors.
It's American Welding Laboratories. Find out more at theweldinglab.com.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full day cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Are you ready to build your company's dream team? Just like in sports, finding skilled players is essential for success. With Robert Half's winning combination of specialized recruiting professionals and award-winning AI, we'll help you find the MVPs and key role players who will have you hanging banners in the rafters. Because in business, it's all about having the experienced team on your side. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
I want to thank the Clay Maxi Auto Group. Their promise is providing a service, a level of service that maximizes your drive at every step in your car ownership experience. They've got their locations in Harrison, Mountain Home, Clinton, or Berryville. They love serving their hometown communities, their local partnerships, events, and programs, making sure that they help support the growth and well-being of the areas that they serve. Also, they have competitive, transparent pricing, reliable, consistent repairs from factory-trained technicians. They always go beyond the sale to ensure a seamless, enjoyable, and tailored experience that fits your vehicle needs. ClayMaxiAutoGroup.com to learn more. Clay Maxi Auto Group asks for the opportunity to maximize your drive today. I got to apologize as well. I forgot to do this last week, so we'll hit on it right now. Fugazi.
It's all a Fugazi. You know what Fugazi is?
Yeah, I know what a Fugazi.
Fugazi. It's fake.
It's not like this in real life. How do you know it's a Fugazi?
I am telling you right now that back there is not real.
Fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not real.
So that's a Fugazi. All right?
Yeah, it's Fugazi.
It's a Fugazi.
It's a Wazzy. It's a Woozy. It's a...
Seconds. It's a fake.
So I'm with the Arkansas women's basketball team at the Cherokee Casino Resort. It's a Harris property. Lovely resort, great restaurants, plenty of places to either win or lose money. The rooms are really nice. I'm just not sure how much basketball they've hosted here before. When you play in these multi-term tournament events or multi-team events, sometimes it's not always at a real bona fide basketball arena. That's the situation we're dealing with here in Cherokee, North Carolina. Now, there is a high school tournament that is taking part at the same time that the college tournament is going on. The high school tournament is over in an event center that's basically just a big conference area, and they have sectioned off the big ballroom to have enough room for 2 basketball courts. That's for the high school. They have 40 teams coming in. For the college tournament, and there's just 4 teams: Arkansas, Liberty, Troy, Toledo. We're playing in a theater. We're not on stage, but the basketball court is right there where the seats would usually be. I mean, you'd have, let's say that the mid-court circle is the best seat in the house to see whatever act would be on stage in this event center. And I've seen things like this before. This reminds me a little bit, Matt. UTA, Texas Arlington. They play in a really nice little arena in downtown Arlington known as College Park Center. Before that opened, they played in a theater, and they played on stage. Old Texas Hall. I called one game there. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Weirder than Vanderbilt. Weirder than Minnesota. The floor was on the stage. The band was in the orchestra pit, and so were the fans out there in a theater that's designed for musicals, plays. There was a balcony and everything. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. This isn't quite like that, but it's pretty close. And you can tell, I mean, somebody put this basketball court together with their own hands. You can see every spot that they have taped. You can see where the tape overlaps on other pieces of tape in order to make the lane and the lines and the 3-point line and the foul line and all of that. It's just there's some spots where the tape is where it's not flush, and there's an extra couple of centimeters of tape that extends out past where the lane would be. And it's, look, I wouldn't be able to get this thing straight. I'm no handyman. But it's a court that doesn't have the nail that would show you exactly where the middle of the foul line is so you can line up your free throw. The rims shake whenever you miss a shot. And I was in this basketball facility, quote unquote, yesterday by myself, just walking around the facility here for a couple of hours. Found my way inside of there, and I'm all by myself. There's basketballs. What do? I shot around for about 20 minutes. Probably missed about 80% of my shots. So I can tell you firsthand that these rims and these goal standards shake when you miss a shot. And I still don't even know where the broadcast setup is. It might be all the way up in the balcony for all I know. For all I know, Matt, I might be shouting the broadcast back to Arkansas tomorrow and Thursday. So this basketball floor we're playing on is going to be fun, but it's also fugazi.
Reminds me of one of my favorite 80s punk rock bands named Flimsy Sandwiches. They just a little bit of a fugazi, huh? Well, That was pretty cool. Feel interesting. Mine is going to be for Arkansans who think Arkansas is a football school. They're not a football school. We're a basketball school and a baseball school, and I think we're coming to a realization that we're not a football school. And you've talked about a lot of people giving up their season tickets or whatever, but it's not. Razorbacks, they're not a. It's a basketball school, baseball school, and football's third. So you kind of gotta accept it.
877-377-6963 if you got any thoughts on what is Fugazi or what is not Fugazi. And I appreciate the text from JT in Hot Springs. I can blame the fact that I only made 20% of my shots, and that's an estimated number, on the fact that the rims and the basketball standard are so loose. It's obviously the ball's fault and the rim's fault, not the idea that I just can't shoot.
Anytime you're shooting by yourself, Phil, you only count swishes, so don't even try to hit the rim. Anytime you're by yourself, they only count if they don't hit the rim.
Be the only time I'm going to be by myself throughout the entire trip. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 2 in just a moment. Stay with us.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
This is Halftime.
Are you Christmas shopping for the hunter, the fisherman, the working man, the marksman, the archer? Then get down to Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. Check out all the toys for all the boys, no matter what their age. Jelco Outdoors is your locally owned store for work and the great outdoors. Jelco gift cards are always a perfect fit. This Christmas, shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. Merry Christmas from Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Jason Hill in Greenwood or Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
To $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Harry Douglas here, and if you're constantly on the go like I am, then earbuds are a priority. That's why you need Technique's new noise-canceling AZ80s. Like you, these buds work as hard as they play. You'll get Technique's legendary high-res audio, along with state-of-the-art noise cancellation, so you can stay in your zone. Visit us.techniques.com/sports to shop for AZ80s now. That's us.technics.com/sports.
When I need a place to stay in Northwest Arkansas, I always choose the Inn at the Mill. It's centrally located in the heart of NWA at the Johnson exit off I-49 and is the most unique choice of hotels in the region. Whether you're in town for the game, a concert at the Amp, business travel, or just a weekend away, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious, clean room ready for you. Reserve your stay at the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800, or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Into halftime live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Great song. Back on halftime here, wrapping up hour number 2. Got a phone call from Robert in Fort Smith, who is still, man, it's been like 6 weeks since the Dodgers World Championship. Robert, has the glow worn off yet?
Oh, you're right. I mean, but I'm glad they won, and now we're trying to look at that other pitcher from Japan, or did we get him? I can't remember. But my thing was, though, earlier with Matt. Matt, you're right. If you don't think we went to basketball, you've got rose-colored glasses on, because we went all out on our coach. We went. And baseball, you've got Dodger scouts coming. You've got Padre scouts coming, and Cubs people coming to look at us. I don't know that it's such an NIL-driven part of that, but, you know, you've got scouts coming to watch them, and they know it. And it's like, you better perform. Sure, I make $1 million, but if I don't perform, they not want it. In football, we just don't have it. We're not going to have it for a while. That's what I was going to talk to you about.
Well, I think some of this is also, if you're looking at just like where you're investing your dollars, it takes a lot more money to build a football team than it does basketball, where it's, you know, how many, they said they're putting how many dollars, like $6-7 million into 8 or 9 players. Baseball, it's just, I mean, we've got a huge amount of interest in it, but nationwide it just doesn't have that sort of cachet where that much money is put into it. Football's a different thing. It's a different thing, and right now, look, I mean, I saw Arkansas is one of the schools in the country that's in the top 25 in NIL spending. I don't remember what the ranking is, but they raised upwards of over $11 million. It's just that still ranks sort of in the bottom half of the SEC. In terms of NIL for basketball, for baseball, I think Arkansas is in the upper half, if not near the top in some cases. So, you know, does it take one donor? You know, I mean, Auburn got like one donation from a family, but it has to happen in perpetuity. It can't just be, well, we're making this donation, see what you can do for it for next year, because what happens the year after that? It's got to happen like in perpetuity. But, I mean, in terms of the success right now, baseball, basketball, they're well ahead of football.
Yeah, and look what, like you were talking about, Missouri, when they got that umpteen done million, that one shot they got that was an undisclosed donor that one time. It may be disclosed now, but at that time it wasn't. And, you know, it does help when you get those big shots like that. But I'm like you, it needs to happen over many, many, many years. You know?
That's exactly right. I mean, it's like you become in a sense, it's just like trying to keep your customers happy. You know, if they're spending all this money on your players, what do they want out of that? Well, I remember getting into this even a year ago. The return on investment for your NIL dollars are wins. First and foremost, they're wins on the football field. And if you don't get wins on the football field, or at least production from what you think your NIL dollars are going to in terms of who's you're spending it on, then are you going to continue spending that money? You know, like if you don't get what you think you deserve for the money you spend on whatever, on decorations for your house, on on presents for the kids, on food, on entertainment, on everything, well, you find other places to spend your money. 877-377-6963. We'll get into the third hour right after the break. Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio stops by at 1:15. We'll be wide open for you as we go into the top of the hour segment. 877-377-6963. And we'll be right back after this.
Ty Richardson, we're at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. I'm with Simon Wheeler. Simon, almost Christmas time. What you got for us this month?
Holiday season's here, and we have youth ATVs in stock, such as the Kawasaki KFX 50 and 90, Outlaw 70 and 110, and KO Fox 70s and Bull 110s. If you have any questions, call or text us at 479-783-5822.
901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. And you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Over the river and through the woods, to Salisaw we go. Mock Legal Solutions is opening a second location to serve our Eastern Oklahoma clients. 105 East Chickasaw. For divorce and custody, let us give you the Christmas gift of a new start. And for personal injury, we will get you a settlement check when Grandma gets run over by that reindeer. 918-238-2363. Or check out our website at mocklegalsolutions.com. Free intakes and payment plans available. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will be in and out of the clouds with the potential for just a few showers across the south. High temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. We'll see showers and some thunderstorms tonight. Overnight lows in the low 40s north, right around the mid 50s south, and then another chance of showers and storms across the south Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that the perspective. If I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, man, take it to the house. And the dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Back in a halftime, third and final hour. We'll take you up to 2 o'clock today. Phil Elson with Matt Jones and Colton Little, C45 is producer. Now good to have him in the producer's chair. Our human caffeine takes a seat. And we'll take you for one more hour. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, will join us about 15 minutes. Get his thoughts on what's going on with the portal. Got the college football playoff starting on Friday.
When are we doing our bracket? We got to do our bracket tomorrow, I guess.
Better get it done by kickoff Friday, right?
We got to. Well, we can do it on Friday's show, I guess. Yeah, we got to get ours filled out for our. There's only 4 of us, so I got a good chance to win.
So we're not going to do the 41 bowl games.
Just the dirty 12.
Just the playoff.
Yep.
The games that matter in this case. The ones that you really have a sense of who's actually on the team.
Are we doing it like March Madness style where we're doing the bracket to completion, or are we just doing round 1 and then even if we miss, do we get another chance? Are we doing it like where once your horse is out, your horse is out?
I don't know.
We got to do it that way, right?
I think I think you've been appointed our minister.
I got it.
Of competition.
All right. Y'all fill it out. I'll tell you what's going on. Okay. All right. I got it.
You tell us what the structure is going to be by Friday. And
all you had to say, you send in the wolf. That's all you had to say.
And you, my friend, are the wolf. Let's go to the phones. Got Brent on hold. Brent, always good to talk to you. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, Phil. Hope you enjoyed your day off yesterday.
Yeah, it was a lot of sitting around and travel, so it was a day off, just not working, but sitting around was kind of fun, I guess.
No, when you're traveling and sitting around, that stinks. I'm just going to tell you. You're just miserable.
Finished the show I was binging, so at least there's that, right?
I had a question. 2 questions. When is our portal news going to get better? Are we ever going? Are we going to get just a stud that just?
Well,
that
Brent,
just
I think it's starting to, just because now you're starting to see the other end of the coin where now some of the players are starting to come in. I'm really intrigued by this tackle out of Oregon.
Same.
Oh yeah.
Really intrigued just by the size.
And one of
Jaquan
these
McCoy, 6'8", 375. You just can't help but wonder, if he plays well here, is this a stepping stone to go somewhere else? I can't help but wonder. I don't know anything about the kid, but in today's day and age, I can't help but wonder that.
Now, Phil, my next question is about Razorback baseball coming up in, I believe, around 60 days.
We're right at 2 months. You're right.
Can you tell me some of the? I know about the third baseman that transferred from New Mexico Junior College. Is it Iredale?
Iredale. Brent
Iredale.
That's right.
Can you tell us about some of the newcomers that could be playing for us this year? Any young players?
Well, I think, look, Iredale at third is going to be, I expect him to be really good. He looked great in the fall. I can't wait to see Veheva Aloy for a second year at Arkansas. I think you'll have Camden Coase will be your second baseman, a kid that was coming in from, transferring in from Vanderbilt. Forget the name of the center fielder transferring in from Southwestern Florida. Justin Thomas, I think, might be his name. That's someone to certainly keep an eye on. The pitching staff is just going to be filthy, Brent. I think it's weekend rotation of Root, Beidelshees, and Gackle. Maybe not quite in that order. You got other starters that are waiting. Gage Wood, potentially. Will McIntyre. I think this baseball team this next year should be really good. I don't want to overhype too much just because of obvious reasons, but I think there could be reason to hype them up pretty big.
All right. Well, I love to hear that. Can you tell me? I've heard something about a freshman outfielder that could break in the lineup sometime. Can you tell me who that is?
I'd have to double check. I don't have my roster right in front of me here, so I can't point to somebody immediately and think that as a freshman they're going to pop in and take over an outfield role, especially when there's center field. I don't feel like it's necessarily spoken for. Right field is. Maybe there'll be an opportunity in left field potentially, but and they don't have the new roster up on there, so I don't have a name for you as far as that's concerned.
Okay, just do it sometime when you have a roster. That'd be fine. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll get it when we. I mean, we're 2 months away. I mean, I'll certainly have, I think, more thoughts about it once we get into January. Anything else, Brent?
Sure. No, sir. Thank you very much. Have a great holiday.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you guys.
Thanks, Brent. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, it's you try to go into the team website, and they don't have the they still have last year's roster up on the website, so that can help sometimes. Let's go to Scott, who's in Dothan. He's called us here. Scott, what's going on? How are you?
Hey, how y'all doing? Merry Christmas to you and Matt and Colt and everybody on y'all's staff. Just wanted to ask you, how'd y'all feel about the Army-Navy game? I loved it. I wanted to see what Matt Jones thought about. Is his name Horvath or whatever?
Yeah, Horvath. Yeah, no, I probably watched 80% of that game. Yeah, that was a good one.
That was, and, you gotta love the armed forces. It's just a great game. It was like that kid looked like Tim Tebow at times. But I wanted to ask you, how they do the NIL with them? There's no NIL, correct?
No, I think you're an academy member. Yeah, you make a commitment and you have to be at that school for a certain amount of time. Yeah.
That's what I was wondering. I guess you transfer from the Army to the Navy, maybe? Can you do that? You change your, I don't know how that works. I just wanted to ask you that. And thank y'all for y'all's show, and I hope y'all have a great holidays. And I love it, man. I love y'all's show. Hey, y'all have a good one. Just wanted to see what they thought. I thought y'all thought about that on the NIL thing, which that's what makes the game so great, I guess, is they're all there for 4 years, I assume.
Thanks a lot for the phone call.
Armed Forces, Phil, is it Air Force, Army, Navy? Am I missing one? That's the three? Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even see Army on the transfer. I don't even think they have a transfer portal. Well, here it is for 2025. I think they lost a running back. Yeah, they did. Well, an Army running back went into the transfer portal, and you kind of think to yourself, now how exactly does that work? Because Paul Skeens started his career at Air Force. He played 2 years at Air Force and then the 1 year at LSU. I don't know exactly how it works, but you just don't. I don't think there's any NIL for these kids at all. They're going to those schools for different reasons.
Well, there's a whole different package you get from going to a school like that. You're going to get insurance. You're going to get lower home rates for your. There's so many other things that you get going to a school like that takes care of you. You are in a different category by going. So it's not just upfront money, but there's other ways if you're smart that people are going to take care of you by going to a school like that.
Well, football season is near the end. You want to be over at Joe's Grilling Cantina to watch the playoff games this weekend all day long. There's endless enchiladas, $15 pitchers of beer, margaritas, and sangrias. And today it's Taco Tuesday, so you get $1 crispy beef or chicken tacos all day long. That's Joe's Grilling Cantina. Best place for watching football on game day at 74th Street, Fort Smith, right across from Harps, and online at joesfortsmith.com. After the break, it's Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio on Halftime.
This is Halftime.
5 seconds to go. Matt, right side. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Close with the dunk at the buzzer. It goes and Arkansas wins. It goes and Arkansas wins. Pauls with a two-hand finish. Arkansas wins the ball game.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
What makes Crabtree RV Center different? First, we are a fourth-generation family-owned business taking pride in making your family's dreams come true. No corporate mentality here. Second, we've been in business for 74 years, founded in 1950 here in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas area. We are not going anywhere. What does that mean for our customers? A family feel with no corporate hidden fees. The reassurance that we will be here for generations to come, and knowledgeable salespeople who want to pick the right RV for your family to make lifetime memories in. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Catch your wife kissing Santa Claus, whose real name is Bobby from down the street? Want to know your rights in a divorce, custody, child support case? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Call me today to discuss your options. Start the new year off with a new lease on life for you, and let Santa have her. Mock Legal Solutions, 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Of spending all your hard-earned cash at the gas pump right now? Wheeler Power Sports is here to help you out. They have a giant selection of motorcycles and scooters to help maximize fuel efficiency. There are over 50 scooters in stock right now, with some getting up to 100 miles per gallon. Wheeler also has a great selection of motorcycles from the Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Kymco. Check out their full inventory at WheelerPowersports.com or check out their showroom in person at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports. Keeping the good times rolling.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel, 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Winding your way down on Baker Street, lighting your head and dead on your feet. Well, another crazy day. Get the night away and forget about everything. This city desert makes you feel so cold. It's got so many people, but it's got no soul, and it's taking you so long. You were wrong when you.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Odd times we live in for college football. Just the top headlines on ESPN right here. Southern Meth, SMU's Lashley, end terrible December portal window. Next headline, Hoosier Signetti aimed AP Coach of the Year. Next headline, Colorado lands top defensive transfer defensive tackle Jaheim Otis from Bama. And then this headline, Sacramento State met with Michael Vick on coaching job. One of these things is not quite like the other. We got Bill King with us from Nashville Sports Radio, the king of college football talk.
Hey, and what do you think? Shedeur Sanders comes back another year like that? I mean, I wouldn't put that past him.
Bill, we have.
That's why there are drones in the air. All those.
They're scouting Rutgers in New Jersey, aren't they? Is Rutgers even in a bowl game? That must be what it is. That's right. Well, I mean, this is a wild week. I mean, we've got this playoff that we're all excited about. You get potential snow in I think in South Bend for this game coming up on Friday. We've got seasons on the line, but it's all happening with the backdrop of this wild transfer portal season in which now you get backup quarterbacks for teams competing in the playoff 12 going into the portal, Bill. You try to make sense of it, you can't, and that's just, to me, it's peak college football 2024.
Really is. It's been a strange season. It's not as wild on the field as 07. There's nothing that compares to 07. But just the unexpected and the names and the prominence of the names. And then early on, Colorado looks all but dead, and now they've got the Heisman Trophy winner, which we knew Travis Hunter was a fantastic talent, but they also had a really good year at 9-3, and they're doing well attracting players. So it's been quite the year.
Bill, I'm going to put you down in our bracket we're doing. So I'm going to go Clemson, Texas. Who do you got winning and why?
Texas wins. They have better players.
I love it. All right, Tennessee, Ohio State. I got an upset there. I think Tennessee's going to get Ohio State. Who do you got?
I wouldn't be shocked, but I can't pick them. That's a tough road game coming off the Michigan game. Tennessee's in C-Bus on a Saturday night. I've got to go Buckeyes.
I love it. All right, SMU, the Pony Express, billionaires coming into Happy Valley, and then big game James. Is he going to get one here and match up with Boise State? Who you got in that one?
I think he wins. I think the home field's going to win there. I like Penn State.
Yeah, I do too. I like Penn State. And then the lock, I think, Phil and I were talking, and we were kind of like, do you have any type of dark horse could win? Do you have any lock? I think Notre Dame is as good as the lock to win this game as any of them. What do you think?
Very physical team. And not only could it snow, and I don't think accumulation is significant from what I've been reading, but wind. And as you know, playing quarterback, that's your biggest enemy. And Riley Leonard's not really an accomplished passer. Now, he's decent at it, but elements like that physically would have to favor Notre Dame.
Well, so that's the fun stuff. That's the stuff on the field. I got to ask you about some of the rumors that we see thrown around here. Braylon Russell, Arkansas freshman running back, was in the portal, out of the portal, now back in the portal. There are reports that he was demanding $1 million to play for Arkansas this year. I don't know if it's true or not, but the reports are out there. It's the same as this Texas Tech wide receiver, Micah Hudson. It's like 8 catches, 123 yards for his one season in college football, and the demands are wild. We went through all the demands. I know you know about this. This is the kid who's demanding the personal driver with a Cadillac SUV to go to and from spring practice. You don't know what to believe, but the more you see these reports, the more I start to believe this stuff. Some of it seems outlandish, but a lot of us now believe where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a lot of smoke of these sort of demands.
Yeah, 700, 750 for up to 10 people, and you mentioned the Cadillac. It's got to be a Cadillac SUV and a driver for him. It's not just a car. It's got to be a specific car. And he's a 5-star from the class of 24. 8 catches. I mean, I think he showed flashes. They must see a whole lot in him to invest that kind of money, if indeed that's true. But you're right. In this environment, that's more believable than ever. It just is.
That's wild. And I mean, I think that's why people now look at this as a potential like an NFL system. It's just you don't have the transparency to know what other players are making in relative to what you are for your position. You think we get to that at some point? Is that where, my whole thing is there needs to be representation for the players, for there to actually be rules that work for both sides. And I know there was a letter sent by the plaintiffs for this house court case that's supposed to be settled completely in the spring. That, to me, is the linchpin to actually maybe have a college football that works, Bill.
Well, Bill Belichick's in the sport, and I would think people will lean on him a little bit. Nick Saban is now a top spokesperson working TV, but I would think some kind of structure would be involved that would make this a little cleaner. But that area, guys, is not where I'm interested because I'm a college guy and I do not like the NFL. So what they do up there, I wouldn't know and don't want to know.
Well, what about Bill? What about the backup quarterback from Penn State? He's entered the portal. Nobody thinks Penn State's going to win it all. They could though, but they're not going to win it all if their starter gets hurt when you're back. So you're going to have to go to your third string quarterback. How much does that kind of mess up the locker room in there in Penn State?
I don't know if it messed up the locker room, but it ticked James off. You saw him talking about it because of the timing. The kid felt like he had to go, or he may not get the pick that he wants. But he's a really good backup, more probably of an overall athlete running around, but is competent in the passing game. That hurts, and Drew Aller's had some injuries. But if Drew Aller plays his best, he's also an excellent player, and let's hope nothing happens there. Yeah, the timing there is not good.
And then what about the Georgia thing? What are you buying in? Carson Beck's out. How much does that hurt the Georgia offense?
I don't think it's going to hurt them unless you get into a game where you're behind a couple of scores and you can't run the ball because you just don't have the time. You may be able to run the ball, but you don't have time to get the end result. And I don't know if they can throw it to win it behind. For example, a couple of years ago in the semifinals against Ohio State, you're down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. You had a quarterback and playmakers to come back and win that ball game. I don't know if they get into that type situation, they could come back with the next quarterback.
Hey, Bill, looking at a couple teams that have buys in this playoff, Arizona State and Boise State, they're great stories. But once either Clemson or Texas should be able to control the line of scrimmage against Arizona State, and I think Texas will do exactly that against Clemson. I think the only way that Clemson wins is if Ewers has a couple of interceptions that are just at the wrong spot of the field. But do you think Boise or Arizona State could withstand the sort of line of scrimmage play that they would get, really, for Arizona State from either of their opponents, and I think from Boise from Penn State?
I don't think so. Don't think so. It would have to be it's the holiday season. We're into benevolence. We're going to gift you some things here. I just don't see.
Who's the in the NFL, the playoffs get here, we talk about a coach quarterback matchup as far as kind of taking you to the next level. Is Sarkisian and Quinn Ewers, is it Dan Lanning and Dylan Gabriel? Who do you think is the best quarterback head coach combo left in the playoff 12?
I would say probably Sark. Sark is a brilliant offensive mind, and with his elaborate motions and everything else and the tomahawk motions that he runs probably more than anybody else, I would probably say Sark and Ewers.
And you never quite know when somebody's going to make a change in a game that
I don't
really
even
matters.
know SMU's quarterback's name. We're thinking, it's like Boise State's quarterback. I have no idea who Boise State's quarterback is. You just don't feel like they're going to win any games in this.
Right. It's going to be fun, guys, and this is embryonic territory. We've never done this. Night games, team from the South, Tennessee's going up north to C-Bus. IU is at Notre Dame Stadium on a Friday night. Sideways snow, maybe. This is fun stuff, man. I'm not a playoff guy per se, but I'm enjoying it. This is going to be fun.
I think it's going to be really fun. I was going to bring the idea up. The shocking moments when Tua replaces Hurts, or vice versa in the SEC championship game.
Yeah. Yep.
I think, for me, Ewers, I think he's good, but he can be a wild card sometimes. But you've got Arch
Right.
Manning behind him, and they've had him play quite a bit this year. And I think part of the reason is, injury potentially, and Ewers he had a bad half once, but I also think it's potentially to just at least get Manning on the field and in some sort of a rhythm, because there's a chance that I think if Ewers has a couple of poorly timed interceptions and the ball's floating out of his hand like we've seen it happen sometimes, I would not be surprised to see a quarterback change. If it's needed, I think Sark would make that kind of change, and that's, hey, he was right there up close when he saw Saban do it with Alabama too.
Yeah, and it would have to be a look in Ewers' eyes of bewilderment or something, or mistakes, and it looks like he's shaking. Or now the other thing they use with Arch is in some of these really short yardage situations, they'll snap it to him in a wildcat because he can run, certainly better than Ewers, and they run that play too with him.
All right, so with this playoff, the first round games coming up here, and the thing that makes it so different, you brought it up here, is that it's on campus. Just changes the experience too. Think of Arkansas playing in the Liberty Bowl next Friday. They get to Memphis Monday. They're spending the whole week in Memphis. I don't know if that's the situation here with these teams going on the road to a campus site, because it's a different setup. But where would you want to go watch a game? If you could only have one ticket to one of these games, I want to go see Indiana at Notre Dame. That's the one I'd want to see. What about you, Bill?
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing. Notre Dame Stadium, Saturday night, you're the lone game. Everybody's looking at you. To me, IU is just from nowhere. There's a guy, I don't know if you saw this, that back in, I think, May, put $100 down at IU to make the playoffs at plus 95.50, and he got a check for 10.5. That's crazy. $10,500, $100, and he did it like in the spring or something.
Man, I don't have some of that rub off on me.
How about that?
I'm in a casino in Cherokee, North Carolina right now, Bill. We got a basketball tournament here, so I need some of that luck. Just a little bit of it. Maybe it can rub off on me here. Hey, Bill, we're off next week, so we won't have you next week. Want to wish you a Merry Christmas. We always appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Bill.
It's Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, with us on Tuesdays when we're on the air.
Yeah, I put him. I thought he's our football guy. We put him in the deal, so I don't know when the next time we're going to get him on, but he's in. He's got some skin in the game now.
Well, we'll send. He knows the bracket. We'll just ask him for his pick. You just ask him for his
Yeah,
picks.
there we go.
We know exactly who's picking. Yeah. Get over to Fish City Grill if you're tired of cooking for people, because they'll cook for you. Chimichurri shrimp tacos available right now. You top it with avocado crema, pico de gallo, cheddar jack cheese, and cilantro. Try the Fish Witch beer battered haddock with dill tartar sauce, lettuce and cheddar cheese on top. Make sure to ask about the new Mystic Mermaid oysters topped with cucumber lime mignonette. You'll find nothing like them in the area. 479-636-8833 for Fish City Grill's curbside pickup or delivery. Give them a visit on South Bellevue Road, Rogers, and online at fishcitygrill.com. Today, part of their 12 Days of Christmas special, $8 shrimp nachos. That's all day long today at Fish City Grill, plus $5 draft beers. Want to get on halftime? It's 877-377-6963. We'll be right back.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
New season, new faces, new stories.
The anticipation is through the roof.
NFL Plus Premium gives you more access to the sport you love. Watch future NFL stars take the field and never miss a moment of live football action this season. With live out-of-market preseason games on mobile and TV, game replays, NFL Network, and more, all in one place. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Subscription required for NFL Plus.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Are you ready to stay warm, save money, and be in control of your energy bills this year? Arkansas Oklahoma Gas has you covered. We care about you and your energy needs. That's why we want to share knowledge and tools to weatherproof your wallet and keep your home cozy. Wondering about ways to help save on your natural gas bill? Looking for payment options? Interested in simple DIY measures to help save energy? We've got you. Visit AOGC.com/winner today and discover resources and information designed to help you save, stay warm, and stay informed.
Hanging with Danny Cobb at American Welding Laboratories. Danny, tell us about the school.
Well, Tommy, we're going on 3 years in operation. We teach all aspects of welding, from stick welding all the way to combination pipe.
So how's the job market these days?
Job market's wide open, whether you want to stay local or hit the road. As a licensed institution, we have access to many grants, including the GI Bill now.
Great. How do we get started?
Come by 4400 South 16th, take a tour, talk to our instructors.
It's American Welding Laboratories. Find out more at theweldinglab.com.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Sweet, sweet and turn around.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I'm not at the place where I'd be watching much NBA right now. NBA Cup championship is tonight, Matt. You got some Razorbacks in that game. The Bucks at the Thunder. Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams for OKC. Bobby Portis, of course, for the Bucks. Was it the Lakers that won the NBA Cup last year and then had to really try to hustle to make it into the playoffs?
The inaugural? Yeah, they were the first champs. That's it, the first one.
Did they raise a banner inside the?
It's a trophy
Crypto
game.
Arena?
You put a trophy in the case. You know, it's for a cup. Everybody, it's a real it's a soccer thing. It's a Euro thing they're doing over there. Just trying to add something. You know, something that you can start marketing. It starts little, but by in 20 years it'll be a lot bigger than what it is now.
They'll be drinking beers out of that cup.
It does. It's a pretty cool tournament. I've watched zero of it. That's how cool it is. But maybe tonight, maybe. Hey, you said it's but is it in Vegas or is it really on somebody's home court?
I don't know.
Because for some reason I thought it was in Vegas, but it could be in Oklahoma City.
It is in Vegas. You're right.
Yeah, so neutral
Arena.
site. Yeah.
So the Bucks and the Thunder in Vegas.
Is Giannis playing like the best player in basketball right now? I mean, have you seen what this dude's doing? Like I guess he was hurt last year, and we talked about duos, but what him and Dame Lillard and Giannis right now, man, they are just they're next level right now. Especially after that slow start. Especially after I buried him early in the year.
He's averaging 33 and 11 and a half.
He just walking the park. Yeah,
that's wild. 14 and 11 record, Matt. But you know what? You always turn it on for the NBA Cup.
That's right.
You know what? I mean, and Christmas basketball is supposed to be a thing. And I wonder, so I got tickets to see the Steelers and the Chiefs in Pittsburgh next Wednesday. It'll be my first Steeler home game that I've been to since 2007. That was Tomlin's first year as the coach. But is this a good idea? Plus the teams that are in this game, too, they're playoff teams. Now, a lot of people are going to watch Christmas Day football. Hello? Why not? I think you get more people to be interested in that than watching whatever NBA games are on. But is this really good? I mean, the Chiefs and the Steelers both, Matt, playing 3 games in a 10-day stretch. They both play on Saturday, and then they got to play on Wednesday, so it's the same amount of time you would get off for a Thursday game.
You mean 2 games in 10 days?
Well, no, they played Sunday, then a Saturday, and then on a Wednesday.
Yeah, that's brutal, especially this time of the year, man. That's absolutely brutal.
Plus, Mahomes has this high ankle sprain.
I wouldn't play him. I mean, Carson Wentz. That's why you got to back up. I would not play Patrick Mahomes until our first home game at the playoffs. That's. I mean, you give him 37 days off. That's because the high ankle sprain. The number one thing you have to have is rest. It's the number you can't. As soon as you kind of it's back again. So at least it gives you. And he might get rolled up in the first drive or something. But I mean, at least it gives you a chance.
Wasn't it a couple years ago his ankle was a concern?
Mm-hmm.
I think in the first of the back-to-back Super Bowls that was a concern. But it's also not somebody that played 3 games in 10 days.
Did you see that last hit against Cleveland when it rolled up? It's gnarly. Yeah.
Well, they're saying all the right things. It's just I'd be surprised if he plays the next 2 games. Watt's got a foot injury. I mean, it's the end of the season for crying out loud. You got guys that are banged up anyway. I don't understand they're trying to do this as an annual thing, but shouldn't that be an annual thing if maybe Christmas falls on a Thursday, which isn't annually? I know we can play football on Thanksgiving every year because it's always on a Thursday. Christmas at some point is going to be on a Tuesday. So are we asking a team to play on a Tuesday when they've played on a Thursday the week before? It's just, to me, it's too much.
It's for one of your favorite Wall Street movies, for a lack of a better term, greed is a good thing. That's all they're doing. It's just they're greedy instead of Christmas Day is supposed to be college bowl games and NBA basketball. And then they think, well, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like they really care about the players that much.
Well, I mean, the NFL creeps into everything. It does. It creeps into everything. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. It's just the NFL knows you slap a game on some streaming service or some network, no matter what day it is, no matter what else is going on, people are going to watch.
Fantasy team, bet money, like Don Henley said, got their fingers in a lot of dirty little pies.
I mean, think of the pies that they're sticking their dirty little fingers in here. You get Black Friday, which was usually a college football thing. The NFL has imposed on that. It'll be interesting to see what the ratings are because you get 2 NFL games on Saturday, which, by the way, Steelers and Chiefs are both playing on Saturday. They get big ratings. What else is happening this Saturday? College football playoff is you get 3 games on Saturday, and the NFL and the college games always, well, not always, for the regular season, they don't play on the same day for a reason. In fact, I think it might have been a law, but it's only regular season. So now you have these. I mean, the Steelers-Ravens game is essentially for first place on Saturday. That's a big game. Penn State happens to have a lot of alumni who are also fans of the Steelers and the Ravens. So it's just like, it'll be fun, don't get me wrong, but this is the sort of thing that you haven't necessarily dealt with all that much. I guess were there playoff games, NFL playoff games on January 1st a few years ago, and so there was a little bit of a balance. It's like, you got to please your TV partners and everything, and it's just it's part of that thing. The NFL is just sticking its finger in it because they know they're going to watch. I mean, I'll be there, so I'll watch. It's going to be fun, too. Like, my daughter, Matt, is a little bit upset because it was her idea first to go to the game, and so she talked my father into buying first-level tickets. She has no idea what she's getting into here. First-level tickets, her first ever NFL game, and it's down in like the 13th or 15th row or something at Acrisure Stadium. Now, my son and I are the latecomers to getting tickets for this game, so we are up above. We're in the end zone upper deck. So Sadie, she looked at me the other day cross-eyed, and I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "You're stealing my thunder." Stealing her thunder going to the Steeler game with my son. I was like, you don't have any thunder. It's the team that has the thunder. You'll enjoy the thunder. They're saying about you. Plus, you're in the crowd. I'm gonna be up above the crowd with Gabe watching all of you guys down there and wondering what it feels like down there. The players are the ones that have the thunder. 15-year-old daughter, well, she thought she had some thunder for this. Can't wait to take them, though.
That's going to be a fun experience. I played on that field twice. Played
one of the worst playing surfaces in the NFL.
It wasn't that bad. No, it wasn't that bad. But it's played on their rookie year, and then I think we beat y'all in the playoffs. Well, and then we lost to New England the next week. But that's one thing you remember. There's just certain spots. Kansas City had it back then. I never played up in Seattle, but apparently that atmosphere was rocking. But yeah, Heinz Field, man, Pittsburgh, the atmosphere, you can feel the electricity. You can feel like, hey, the excitement's in the air for a football game.
Well, maybe if Christmas is a Thursday next year, actually do this and it'll make a little bit more sense. There is one player, and back to college football here, where it'll be very interesting to see what happens. I forget who it was that brought up this Mbake, a cornerback for Alabama, 5-star, played quite a bit for them, and he made his demands, and I guess DeBoer did not agree to those demands, so he went into the portal. Apparently, this cornerback used to be at Alabama, had been doing a podcast with Ryan Williams, the star freshman wide receiver for Alabama over the last year, and they're tight. They're really good friends. And some social media back and forth has made Alabama fans feel that Williams may end up deciding to hit the portal. Like, that's the kind of player that you put you put your chips forward to keep him there. He already had a big freshman year, and there's big things for moving forward. He's already on the list of favorites for the Heisman Trophy for next year. And this isn't, for me, necessarily about like, oh, got to save Alabama. They're not in the playoff. We got to figure out a way to get them in. It's not that. It's this is the sort of name, the sort of production from a first-year player that you would think the team can keep him there, especially a big-name brand like Alabama would be able to keep this player there. The Crimson Tide fans, they already have to deal with being left out of the playoff, and it's their team's fault for being left out. Now they may end up losing the kid that they thought would be their next Heisman Trophy winner. It's like, well, if you want to find ways to make changes to the sport, just piss off the Alabama fans and take it from there.
Yeah, Alabama, they run this, don't they?
That's the feeling. That is the feeling.
I tend to agree with Bill King as far as this playoff thing going on, as far as the excitement. I'm pretty excited about these 4 games coming up.
Well, it's going to be fun just to turn the TV on and see them. Just take away the idea that they're on campus sites. Tennessee at Ohio State? Or just Tennessee versus Ohio State? in a game where the rosters are mostly intact. I mean, it's just two big brands.
That might be the first one to 17. Like that really might be. That's the game. I think the Clemson-Texas game has that potential too to be a low scoring because Clemson can't score 47 points. So if Clemson's going to win, it has to be low scoring. So you start looking at how it's going to go, and that is Clemson's strength is their front seven.
And Texas's strength is their front seven.
Their defense is they're one of the best defenses in the country.
It's not even just the front seven; it's the whole 11.
Yeah, left in the playoff 12. They might have the number one defense left in the playoff.
But just to have, I mean, you get it's a great mix of old school blue bloods, Notre Dame, Penn State, Texas, Ohio State, and even one of the newer blue bloods, Clemson, and then throw in SMU and Indiana. Those are just
Arizona
the head scratchers.
State,
Arizona State, it's just head
State.
scratchers. It's not that they don't make sense. It's that you never put those teams in the conversation of, hey, this is a team that may end up playing for a national championship. Clemson, by the way, I saw they accepted a transfer. Might be the first under Dabo Swinney. Was certainly one of the first. So maybe things are changing there.
I don't know. Notre Dame seems to be in the best situation as far as going forward if everything stays this way. Like if you say the next 7, 8, 9, 10 years, I could see Notre Dame making the playoff 12-8 of them. Like it's just they got a great situation. The way that they've been getting quarterbacks each year since the portal goes, you get as long as you can compete at the offensive and defensive line. They get to make their own schedule. They can kind of pick and pick. They don't have to have all these battles where you think the Iron Bowl and you think Alabama having to play Georgia. They don't have to go through the rigors of an SEC schedule. Now, they'll have a couple tough games, but it won't be anything like an SEC schedule.
Half their schedule are ACC games, and I think those games are dictated by the ACC office, but they pick the other 6. And, playing an ACC schedule, half your schedule, I mean, you never maybe sometimes you might get Wake Forest and
Maryland
well, Maryland's Big Ten,
not
but
in
like
the
a school
ACC
that
anymore.
like that level, right? And then maybe another year you may get
NC
Clemson
State
and North Carolina and Miami. Who knows? But I think you're right though. Notre Dame's they're in a bit of a purple patch.
Yep.
Basically, they win 10 games, they're in the conversation. They win 11 games, they're in, and they don't have to play a conference championship.
No, I think 10 with Notre Dame, too. I know you're saying 11. I think brand, just how we're talking about Alabama and all this, I think their brand's so strong that if they go 10-2, that they'll always get in that playoff 12.
Indiana at Notre Dame. I don't think they've played since 1991.
Since Albert Chaney was number 40 for the Indiana Hoosiers basketball team. That's how long, yeah.
Make sure you get over to Twin Peaks and Rogers for holiday bonus cards for your friends, and you get something back with a gift card purchase, too. Spend $25 on a gift card, get a $5 bonus card back. $50 gift card purchase, get $10 back. Spend $100 on a gift card, you'll get a $20 bonus card back. That's at Twin Peaks in Rogers, and later this week on the 20th is National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day. You can score free chips and queso for wearing one at Twin Peaks all day long. That is the 20th. That's this Friday at Twin Peaks. They have the ultimate game day experience at Twin Peaks. Great place to watch the college football playoff, college basketball, and the NFL. You can get your online favorites to go at twinpeaksrestaurant.com. More TVs, bigger screens, and scenic views. Always more to watch at Twin Peaks. Quick break. We'll wrap halftime up right after this.
This is halftime.
To $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're live at First Financial Mortgage with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan was my mortgage lender here. And Ethan, between you and Emily, over 2 decades.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of experience here to help you get closed on a home really quick. We offer custom financing available through VA, FHA, RD, and conventional loans. First Financial Mortgage has a great history of lending in the area. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. Brad Tyson and their entire team are so thankful this time of year during the holidays. We appreciate all of our customers that enjoy the beverage bar at Boonville, the hot food at Phoenix, and the deli at Jam Mart number 10. We know you're loving the updated pumps at our gas stations, and we're continuing to strive to find new creative ways to improve every single day. If you love Jam Mart, please leave us a 5-star review on Google. Happy holidays from your friends at Jam Mart.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you can restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Well, it looks like Arkansas is getting the commitment of a tight end from Texas A&M, Jaden Platt, who played only on special teams this last year, has announced his commitment to the Razorbacks. So there's that. You get a 7th player that is committed. Your tight end, I'm assuming there's a couple more tight ends that they're at least looking at, because that's a position that's been decimated by the portal. And so while we were on today, it looked like wide receiver punt returner Cam Shanks committed, and Jaden Platt did, tight end. So still seeing a lot more of the other end of the spectrum here, Matt. No more guys getting into the portal, maybe hopefully no more after Russell, and starting to see some of these announcements of players coming in.
One of my favorite Sugar Ray Tucker quotes. What are you doing? Out looking for some tight ends.
Sugar Ray was looking for a specific.
You know, he
kind
just
of
had a
tight end.
birthday not too long ago.
That's right. He'll continue to have those birthdays too, and he'll continue to look for the exact same thing that you're talking about here. That's right. All right, fun stuff today. It was great getting back on the show. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah,
Is
don't
this the
make
day?
it- don't
you
make
think
it so
today-
long.
Is this the day I try my hand at blackjack? You think I could, might? What do you think? Yes or no today?
Absolutely. No more than 30 minutes, though.
All right, we'll see. We'll see how long I can make. We'll see if 30 minutes lasts. How much money I feel like is worth to me today, and I'll report back to you tomorrow. Thanks for all our callers, all the texters. If you missed anything, the halftime Eastside Liquor halftime podcast coming out shortly, as our talks with Bill King, Alyssa Orange, and all our callers. Very active today, so thanks for being part of the show. Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a moment, and we're back with you tomorrow for halftime. For Matt Jones, Colton Little, Christian Johnston, I'm Phil Elson. Thanks for tuning in. Now, get up, get out, and get better.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock.